live, uncut, unedited, tell the truth, and shame the devil. I
I
love
love
being
being
black.
black. All right, people. All right.
You already know what it is live, uncut, unedited, tell the truth, and shame the devil. I love being black. I
I love
love
being
being
black.
black. I
I love
love
being
being
black.
black.
All right, people. Thank y'all for tuning in. This live, uncut, unedited. This is where we tell the truth and shame the devil. And it's a lot going on. And I just thank y'all for coming in tonight. Man, did y'all know I was asleep in front of this computer at like 8 something? Literally sleep. Just really waking up. I said, oh my God, it's 11:30. And I ain't gonna live. I ain't been live in 3 days. 3 days. I said, man, I gotta get on here and go live tonight. Talk about I ain't here because I ain't even got a subject. But I want to get on live just to talk, people. I tell you, life would be something else. What's up, Shirley Lindsay? I see you. It ain't my birthday, y'all. It's not my birthday. It's my little grandson birthday. I love being black. I love
I
it.
love being black.
All right. JC, who up? Who down? That's right. Yeah. That's right. So who up and who down? That's right. That's right, bro. That's right. I'm just tapping in, people. Trying to see what's up, what's going on. Maybe I get some people call in. We can have some talking good talking points. Hmm. Louis Ramsey, what's up, brother? How you doing? All right. Janice, I'm up. All right. That's right. Janice Hunter. All right. Nathan, what's up? God bless you, brother. God bless you. What's that little Sean Treadwell? Good morning. Good morning. That's what it is. Diana Gangs. What's up, Diana? It ain't my birthday. It was my grandson's birthday. Greetings, Martin, and everyone who is up yesterday. Up. Man, Billy Kinslow. Where you been at, Billy? I ain't seen you in a minute. Kenny Nicole, everyone, pray for me. I'm having surgery. Okay, definitely. We're going to pray for our sister. Lord bless her right now. D, you up as well? Man, I thought, listen, I went to sleep, man, and I was asleep right here in front of this computer, believe it or not, man. I woke up, it was 11:30, 11:37. I let it, man, I'm telling you. That's an old saying. They say that you don't know when you sleep, but you know when you wake up, that you've been sleeping. Divine Order, what's up, my bro? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on? What's going on? Barbara Cooper, what's up? I'm looking at TV. Good evening. Oh, y'all, what y'all some night owls. Thought I was the only one. Phil, what's going on? Y'all some night owls, y'all. All right, to my grandson. That's right. Thank you. What's going on, D? Man, we got to get together on them drones, man. We got to get together soon, man. My drone over here catching dust. Where's it at? Right here. No, right. I got it right here. It's catching dust. It's catching dust, man. We got to put that bird in the sky, bro. We got to put it in the sky. Thank you, Shirley, again. I'm a woman. I know that divine order. I caught it last when you told me that before months ago. Months ago. Arthur Lewis, what's up, bro? All right, happy blessed born day. It ain't my day. My nephew, my grandson. What's up, Nat Flanagan? What's up, sister? I did a practice run today. Man, I gotta do a practice run, man. I'm rusty. Was that Carlisle or Carlisle? All right. How you doing, Miss Thomas? You up? Lewis. Playing the game? Okay. Yeah. Playing the game. What's going on, people?
I
I love
love
being
being
black.
black.
We up. We up. Since we up, man, let's talk about some people. We got a lot of things going on. It's getting ready to get warm, people. It's getting ready to get warm here. And I tell you, the shooting is a man and folks shooting and they don't love each other. What's going on with that? They don't love each other. What's going on with all this shooting? Folks don't love each other, nothing. What is going on, people? Tell you, I love being black. Okay, what you say? I'm wide awake right now, unfortunately. Got a hectic week watching Sanford Sun right now. Okay. Deborah Singleton, I'm still up. You still up? Y'all, I'm tell you, I'm up, just waking up probably at like what? Maybe a good half an hour ago or so. I was right here, knocked out, woke up like I was calling myself on go live, right? Man, I woke up, shoot, I guess I was live asleep. Tell you. Yeah, they straight clowning South Shore. I believe that. David McDonald, what's going on, brother? How you feel, Dave? Dave, cutting edge mobility. Also, he does free haircuts in Inglewood. Today he gave me a shave and lining and stuff like that for free. Anybody can come. Anybody can come on 62nd and Halter. You have to go follow his page, Cutting Edge Mobility. That's Dave. Yeah. Yeah, somebody said can't see, but it is a lot of stuff going on with our youth, though, people. I don't know. I mean, people, what do you guys think? You think when it comes to the youth, we lacking it? I mean, the youth, man, they got so many influence, people, outside influence. One guy called it the 3 or 4 elements in the house, in the streets, and in school. 3 elements. 3 elements. Man, so many. Our youth, man, they got a lot. What you say, Lewis? He said, Martin, the mayor of New York, called in the National Guard to ride the subways. Trains there. Wow. Thank you, Modesta Otis. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Tracy said, Tracy Taylor. What's up, Tracy? Hey, how you doing? Thank you for tuning in late at night. I was tired, y'all. Y'all know I've been ripping and running, videoing and stuff like that. It take a lot of energy, people, a lot of energy to do these videos. And, you know, this stuff is not staged. I don't make it up. And I have to bring the correct information. People, we got a caller. 0152. Caller want to talk. Hey, caller, you there?
Marcus.
What's going on? Marcus, go ahead, Marcus.
Has joined.
What's going on, Marcus?
Hey,
did you make it out to
what's going on?
Did you make it out to that barbershop today?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I shot pictures and I sent it to the Crusader.
Hopefully they'll pick it up. Bonnie
Yeah,
Williams.
hopefully they'll pick it up.
All right. What's going on? Talk to us, Marcus. We up, man. I'm telling you, man, I've been sitting in front of the computer, I believe, since 9 something, maybe 8 something.
What's your topic?
I ain't got no topic. I just
well, I will say I'm just coming home from a Bulls game, and the Bulls gave that game to the Mavericks.
Oh,
I guess they didn't want to play tonight.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that game started off, it was lost before it even started. That's how bad it was to me. So the Bulls lost tonight at home at the UC.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm quite sure some of your listeners was probably watching it.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard you say something about youth and the influences that they have.
Oh, let's talk about it. Come on, Mark. Let's talk about it.
Oh, well, a lot of it is they listen to the wrong people. And they choose to listen to the wrong people because those people got the flashy, the glamour, and the glitz, so they think. You got a group of elderly people that's trying to lead them in the right direction, and you got the other group that's trying to lead them into the streets for their own greed or to fill their pockets, but they don't understand that. Because what type of people that wouldn't put their own sons or daughters out there on the street corners, but will force somebody else's sons or daughters out there on the street corners?
Tell the truth, shame the devil.
Tell the truth.
That's true.
And shame the devil.
We create this environment. We created I got to say it, accountability needs to be held. We can't blame the white man and the police and the politicians for everything. They don't make you drop trash on the ground in your neighborhood. These older people who run these street organizations created some of this hell in our community
Mm-hmm.
and then try to justify it. I'm sorry, but you can't justify sin. You just can't, no matter how you try it. And a lot of us try to justify the sin that we do instead of turning around and facing accountability. You got to face the problem and you got to deal with it. A lot of these kids in households that are a part of that life. And so what can they teach their kids versus some of the kids in households that are not a part of that life?
Mm-hmm.
What can these other parents teach their kids if that's the only life they know? And they leave it up for the schools to teach their kids when the schools were designed for blacks to hold us back.
Mm-hmm. Let me say this, Marcus. And I was trying to put it in a post. I probably didn't get the message out, what I really wanted to say. Imagine, would you say, take 50 young teenagers, 50 of them. Okay, they're at a party. Y'all follow me. They all at a party. They partying together. They drinking. They smoking loud, which is weed. They popping pills, and they sipping and they drinking lean. Now imagine the music that they playing. They playing probably over 50 or 60 drill songs. All the songs are talking about killing, having sex, downgrading women, gang banging, smashing and grabbing, selling dope. What do you think the outcome is going to be? If our young people all in one room listen to that type of music and everybody, hey, turning up, what mindset? I call that you are creating a criminal mindset through music, through drugs, through influences. And we
Yep.
know music have a lot of influence on a lot of behavior, video too as well. And I always say on
Yeah.
this live, Marcus, I'm sorry, I'm calling you me. And I
Hmm.
always say that if you see some and hear some long enough, you start beginning to believe it. And that's what happened to our
Yeah.
youth. It starts at home. There's no
If
excuse.
you're told
Go ahead,
if
Mark.
you're told you're nothing over and over again, you ain't gonna be nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And some parents tell their kids that you ain't nothing. You're gonna be just like your daddy, or you're gonna be just like your no good mama. And if you continue to say that in their head, they're gonna believe it. And then low self-esteem gonna set in, and they just gonna say, I don't care. Don't nobody like me no way. So I don't give a, I'm gonna go out the house looking any kind of way. I'm gonna act any kind of way. But look, I was on the AO last week, and this older guy was encouraging these teenagers to smoke and do what they do. He was literally telling them ain't nothing wrong with that. So I asked him a question. I said, what about the people who get on this train and they go on to work, or they go into a job interview and they go to the job interview and don't get the interview because the interviewer thinking that they smoking the weed, but the weed and the smell of the loud is in their clothes. Well, they shouldn't have rode the train. They should have got an Uber. I said, well, shouldn't the guys that's out here smoking should have got an Uber or a taxi cab if they want to smoke, because the train ain't the place. I said, what about the people who got a respiratory condition? They shouldn't be riding the train. I said, you know what? The people who ain't going nowhere shouldn't be riding the train. The train is for people who going to work, going to school, somebody who going somewhere. These people ain't going nowhere. They just riding the train looking to see who they can rob and getting high, and you encouraging it. No wonder our community in the shape it's in. You're much older than me, sir. Yeah, well, that's just the way it is. That's just the way it's going to be. I said, that's your opinion.
Mm-hmm. And that's a dangerous man right there. Anytime you have a grown up that's out here influencing young teenagers negatively, that's a dangerous man there. Period. I agree with you, Marcus. Period. A dangerous man.
And there's so many of them out there that's like that. That's telling them it's okay to disrespect women. It's okay to cheat on your baby mama. It's okay to she just a bee. She too emotional and all of that. Well, if you having sex with a woman's friend and you done had sex with her and got her pregnant and you ain't doing nothing for your kids and she doing all the work, she got a right to be emotional. Because she taking care of your son or your daughter, and you think it's about being a man. A lot of these young men got the wrong image of what a real man is, and they think a real man is walking around tough and ready to mess somebody up if you look at them the wrong way. Real men don't walk around ready to fight. They got remorse. They care about their community, and we have lacked caring about our community. Inglewood is a historic community, but it went down because of the other people that live in Inglewood, not all, but the ones that did not care. They didn't try to keep their property up. They didn't try. They didn't care. They let everything go on in their house. And it affects the people next door. I even went on to ask that guy, I said, okay, what if some live next door to you and they break out the shooting? Well, that they next door move. I said, so I'm supposed to sell my house and just up and move. I'm done talking to you because ain't no talking no sense into you. You're much older than I am, but you're dumber. That's a shame.
Marcus, I agree with you, man. That guy's terrible. He's a terrible influencer on young people. And young people, when you encounter people like that don't care about nothing, influence you to do wrong, stay away from them. Stay away from him and people
Them
like
the
him.
ones you need to swing on. Instead of swinging on the ones trying to guide you in the right direction, them the ones you need to swing on. Them the ones you need to chase out of your face and tell them to get on with that.
Get on with it.
Because they're going to lead you down the wrong road.
And I agree with you, Marcus. I definitely agree with you. There's too many older people out here. But let me get back to that trash, too. You can't call that on white supremacy, throwing trash on the ground outside, doing all that. Emptying your condom wrappers on some people's lawns and your fifth for alcohol bottles and all that, and unrolling your tobacco, the inside of your blunt on some people's lawn. Now that's no excuse. I'm not justifying that type of behavior at all.
Writing gang signs and freshly laid concrete in front of somebody paid all that money to have their sidewalk fixed. You go down there and you got to write your initials in it.
Right. So some things we can't blame on the white man. We got to take some responsibility. Good evening, Jody. We have to take some responsibility for ourselves. Yeah. And that's real talk.
Yeah.
And I listen, I'm for change. And some things we just gonna have to take straight accountability for that, for our behavior as a group. Not talking about individually, as a group. Because some of you quick, well, Martin, my son ain't out there shooting, killing. Your son may not be, but your nephew is. Your little niece out there setting up guys. And you see all the time and talk to him, you don't say nothing.
Has joined.
Yeah, you don't say nothing. Your niece out here half naked. And when somebody grab and snatch her, put in the car and rape her, then it's going to be a problem. And it should be a problem. But you can't walk down some of these high crime areas, nowhere, period. And if you cough, your skirt come up, you see everything. You ain't got nothing on. Period.
The wind blow.
Real. 1, 2, 3. What's going on, bro? 1, 2, 3. What's going on? You just listening in?
How you doing, Brother Martin?
What's on your heart tonight?
Yeah. Oh man, I'm just listening to you brothers, man. Just gaining some knowledge, man. I didn't really catch the topic this evening, so I was just listening, man.
Okay, we just saying me and Marcus on here. We just having adult talk. We talking about different things. Our teenagers listen to grown folks that ain't got nothing going on, influencing that negative behavior. Should no grown man be encouraging another young teenager to gangbang or shoot another man? You should not be out here encouraging them to do that. Period. Shame on you if you doing things like that. Shame on you.
You just as dangerous as a pedophile.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't no different from a pedophile.
More dangerous.
You're just as dangerous. You may not realize it, but you're just as dangerous. Recruiting them in a gang, putting a gun in their hand, telling them to go do a drive-by. You are just as dangerous, and your picture and name should be posted up on every billboard in the United States of America so that people know what you look like. Because that's who's behind some of these kids. That's why some of us can't tell them nothing. Because you got some of us that's my age just telling them different.
That's right, Marcus.
And that's who they listen to.
That's right.
Let me say something on that, Mark.
AKA old time.
Has joined.
Go ahead. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead.
I really think it's a little bit. We're speaking of the past. Like back in the day when we were younger, they were recruiting kids and they were doing that as far as putting guns in their hands and stuff. Nowadays it's more of social media and the adults that they see around them, the behavior that they see their parents or uncles doing, and they're mimicking that behavior. You know, some of these rap videos, and I'm not blaming it on rap at all, but they're thinking that these rappers are actually living that lifestyle, so they're taking that into their own and putting that into their lifestyle. So it's not necessarily a lot of guys giving it to them anymore. They don't have to give it to them because they see it on the TV. They can Google it on the internet. YouTube was showing it, and they're showing the good side of it, but they're not showing the downside of, you know, the prison time and the suffering that the parents are going through and the things that you're taking your family through. So even that Kia Boy trend, look how fast that took off.
Yeah. Let me say
that's because some white man did a YouTube video. He should be shut down. He glorifying it as if it's okay. And we got Kia Boys here in Chicago.
Let me say
it started in Wisconsin, I believe, and it's all over the nation now.
You got some
because it's a YouTube fab.
I'm gonna let you in, old time. You got some old game bangers, old as me, man, and still out here influencing these young boys out here to do things. Yep. I'm telling you, selling them guns, man. Back in my day, we wouldn't allow this particular game to come over here. Y'all got to take care of your business and all that. You know, it's just too much. Go ahead, old time. I know you got a mouthful for us tonight. Go ahead, old time. I'm ready. I'm gonna sit back. I know he got a mouthful for us tonight, but I'm ready tonight. Go ahead. I'm just waiting. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Listen to the brothers, getting like the man said, getting that knowledge, and but you know, I maintain, you know, once you get 18 years old, you know, the game activity shouldn't be part of your life. Now, you know, we have to sit around, we have to challenge our young men to do better. You know, they should be, you know, when in high school, you might do some of those things. But when you get to be 18, see, you start to fade away. Now, I just use the scripture in the Bible. You know, y'all don't have to believe it. Okay. It said, when I was a child, I thought as a child, and I did as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. I mean, why would an 18-year-old be going around not growing up, think that he can go and take it by himself and not be held accountable for it just because he wanted and he have the opportunity to go and work. So we have to challenge our young men to with real tough because, you know, don't tell me, see, you ain't walked in my shoes. Yeah. Don't tell me that because some of our pioneers, they didn't have fathers in the house. Mm-hmm. You know, I read an excerpt where they say Frederick Douglass didn't have a father. Carter G. Woodson. Mm-hmm. You know, they didn't know who their fathers were. And a lot of times we agree with you.
Yeah, old timer.
I agree with you.
Me too. Hey, old timer. Marcus is one. His father wasn't in the house with him. But let me just say something. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me. Somebody said, I love your brother, Martin G. Johnson. However, when a person disagrees with you, you say you will block them. As long as people don't get disrespect you, I believe you to allow people to speak. Is that true, y'all? Now, is that true? Old timer, how many times have me and you disagreed on this live? I ain't never blocked you. Come on now, old time.
Right, you called my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, you called my hand and told me, man, you know, you need to show a little bit more respect
Right.
for the black community. You've
Right.
told me that many times. So
Right.
that's true.
Yeah.
And I say, you know, I say that, you know, and I need to, you know, look a little bit more deeper into what we got going on. Now we've been traumatized.
Yeah.
As I said, somebody said people gathered downtown last week, and the brother said, well, you know, our people been traumatized.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we got some brothers on the line here now that can say, well, I can untraumatize you. I can help you get a job and you can be untraumatized. Well, I don't see how a person can be so traumatized and they desire to really want stuff and they still go and get it. And then I say, well, here, I can give you a job. And then all of a sudden you so traumatized, you can't see yourself working, but you can see yourself stealing. So I disagree with that.
They don't want to.
So but that's what I'm saying. They don't want to take off. And then conflict resolution. We don't want to. Sometimes I've seen people go in the nail shop and argue and cluster with people and almost set all the people furniture up and snatch the counter over, snatch the cash registers because they don't want to get their money back and different things. So to me, I just think that's out of order. You know, and so we seem to have a penchant for to be able to do this stuff, and then when somebody say something to you, they say, "Oh man, I'll knock your tooth out." It's different things. They want to fight you and humbug with you. So now we got everybody being quiet because nobody don't want to challenge our young men because you know, in that movie Wesley Snipes made in Sugar Hill. He said, well, if you don't mess with me, I won't kill your whole family. So it makes it seem as though, man, you better leave them alone because they might come get your whole family later on tonight. So we just let everything go by.
Old Timer.
So we let too much go by.
Old Timer, the mayor of New York, and I believe the governor of New York, not the mayor of New York, but the governor of New York called out the National Guard on the subway. People are complaining about that. But you know what? I'm cautious to say that the state of Illinois needs to do the same thing. People do not feel safe around these trains. And why? Because you got people just like you just described. They don't want to work. They don't want to take orders. They want to be the one to give orders. How you going to get a man that's paying you orders? How you going to tell a man that's paying you what you ain't going to do? They don't want to work. They want everything handed to them.
Not gonna be that way, Brother Martin. Now, Brother Martin is out there with those young people. He got a good word for them, and he don't appear to be scared of them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, only thing I can say is that we got to get these young men together. I mean, you're fighting over stupid stuff, over a basketball game.
Right.
You know, we just got too many moving parts, man, and we need to settle down. In this, because ain't nothing gonna change from day to day. You're gonna have hunger. You're gonna need shelter. You're gonna need food. Those are the three basic necessities of life. You're going to always need that. Yeah. And there's no other way better to get it, man, but to get up and go to work and then do a good job and you better go back the next day. Yeah. Now, of course, we're going to make some mistakes on the job, but we have to learn how to be honest about it. Sometimes I made many mistakes on my job when I was working, hey, man, but I was able to go back the next day. And now sometimes they can be fatal, bad mistakes where they say, hey, man, no, we gotta let you go. But you got to have a track record. You got to build up something. But if not, then you're gonna be zigzag, man. You're gonna be all over the place. I mean, now they carry guns. You know, they don't see nothing wrong with it. You know, they're 12 years old, going around doing stuff. You know, we got to corral them. These are our young people out there. These are our nephews, like you said, and some of our children.
Yeah,
going out there doing stuff that's out there. Causing all this mayhem and disaster in our neighborhood.
In our neighborhood. Yeah.
we victims in our own neighborhood, man. How you like that now?
Right. Hey, let me say one more thing. Let me say something real quick to Jay Reed. He said, Martin, I love you. I met you at Daily Center. That's just how I feel. Listen, it ain't how you feel. It's what's right. It ain't about how you feel about me. It's what I'm doing. That's what counts. So I'm not that type of person that you think I'm. So you don't know me. You don't know me personally. You must don't follow me enough to know or come on these live streams to know. But when I go live and I'm on a crime scene, I'm not going to tolerate nobody saying nothing negative about the dead or the victims. I'm not going to tolerate that, because I don't care how a person have been living or what they've been doing. When you get on a live and talk about a person that's been shot or whatever, they have someone out there that loves them. And it's a small world. So you have to be careful what you say when you're on these live streams, because it's a small world. Some of us right now would still be living if we wasn't running our mouth right now on social media. So many people, young and old, are dead because they're running their mouth on social media. And when I say run their mouth, threatening people and all that, saying things that they ought not to be saying. Some things are not for the public's sake. You could think a certain thing, but that'll mean you got to say all your thoughts out in your head. And we shouldn't do that. Young people, learn a lesson. Some things are not for the public. They come in your mind. You keep it to yourself. I always talk, you can't stop the thoughts from coming in, but when they land on your head, you just knock them off. So when bad thoughts come. So we have to be careful what we say when we on these social media. You know, a lot of times when y'all see me arguing with people, it's some people I've established a relationship with, and I'm arguing with them. But if somebody I don't know, I don't spend no time. I just get rid of them, block them. You know, you're not just going to say anything to me disrespectful and think it's going to be sweet. No, it's not like, it don't work like that. If I'm giving people respect, I demand respect. I'm not asking nothing for nobody out there in the social media world that I'm not giving. And I tell them, don't come on my page and tell me what I should be talking about or what I should be doing. And when you're on your page, you smoking, you drinking, you got a half-naked women on there, everything, and I don't say nothing. That's your page. Am I right, old timer? That's their page. You put it on.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's what you put. You know, that's what you put. So I didn't mean to change the subject, but you're right, old timer. We got to have the basic necessities. We got to eat. We got to have clothes on our back, and we should have somewhere to stay. Those are some of the three essentials. I don't know if you said them in that order or I got them all, but those are the things that we definitely need, people. We need those. We definitely need those. And we got, and like you said, old time, now Marcus said that there's no excuse for us throwing trash on the ground in our neighborhood. No excuse.
Nope.
You walk to the back of the alley, you throw the garbage in the garbage. Don't sit it on the ground. If
you know what, Martin, let me also say this. There would be garbage cans on the corner. If some of you all weren't setting them on fire, melting them down, the city used to put garbage cans. Some of you all take the plastic thing out of the steel thing and throw it across the street, roll it down the street. The city ain't going to keep putting them things down in our neighborhood. The park district used to have plenty of garbage cans. They set them on fire and watch them melt. You wouldn't have to walk in the alley if you would quit doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Right.
Right. 100%. You got, like you said, you got
to keep one.
You know, you're not trying to pick up nothing. You're trying to just go about what was daily living. I mean, you go around near the White Sox park. I mean, you don't see no trash and stuff laying around the White Sox park because after the game they get out there and clean it up. And I tell you another thing.
Let me do a race. Mm-hmm. Them people just
ain't got nothing to do with a race. No, they just ain't. Look, man, we used to follow the Mardi Gras parades in New Orleans. We used to follow the whole parade all the way to the end of the line. And right at the end of the parade, you know what they got coming behind the parade? They got the street sweepers coming right behind. That's what they got coming behind it. They got the street sweepers coming right behind the parade, and they gathering up garbage because downtown got to open up the next day. Businesses got to open up the next day. And you have thousands, hundreds of thousands of people out there for the Mardi Gras every night, for 7 nights, 10 nights. You got people out there following the parades, nothing but trash and stuff, all on the neutral ground, all on the street. And as soon as the parade is over, the last float pass by, you got the street sweepers and you got the machines coming behind it and people getting paid because them people, man, got to have these businesses open up. So, hey, there ain't no excuse for us not to clean our neighborhoods. There ain't no excuse for us not to do stuff, man, because that's what you have to do. You know, if you want a viable and a clean neighborhood and the thought, because man, I tell you, when you go out to some of these outlying areas, these people, man, they got their night lights on the home. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. But a lot of them don't even have street lights out there because they cut down on the electric bill because they don't have to have it. I said, man, why is it so dark out there? You go over here in Lake Forest, man, Lake Forest ain't got nothing but millionaires living over there. And you ride in the midnight because they ain't hardly got no street lights over there. They got some, but when you turn, man, you don't see nothing but headlights coming. But you from our area, man, everything all lit up. You know, we got so many lights in our neighborhood, and it's just all lit up like a prison or something. But you go in these areas out there, man, they ain't got no street lights out there because they don't believe that, you know, they have to have all of that. And yet at the same time, the area is just clean and everything else. So I don't know why, if we want to have the same thing, it's going to take some elbow grease and some work to get it done. But as the brother said, you can't be going around tagging, they call it tagging. I don't know what that word, tag, spraying a gang sign on somebody's garage. Now, right around here where I live, they got the man trying to open the business up, trying his best to open. And 3 times, they done wrote something about Donald Trump on this man's bill. And he's been out there painting over it, and they come right back. Now they got something out there the other day, something about Donald Trump on the man's bill. The man trying to open his business up, painting his house, painting the building, and y'all coming over there writing something on this building. It's stuff. Now somebody say, why don't you put a camera out there? Well, you can go over there in Kenilworth and see if anybody writing something over there. Go over there in Inverness and see if anybody writing something over there in Inverness. Ain't nobody, don't even worry about stuff like that. But why, when you come down to our areas, we got to worry about, oh man, you know, I'm a folk on the hustler. You know, man, I'm about to fork down, and I'm gonna turn the forks up. All this kind of stuff that don't even profit us. And you got to sit down and talk to these young men. Okay, young man, you a folk on the hustler. Now, tell me what does that mean? Tell me what it means to you. I ain't talking about your cousin. I want to know, what are you getting out of it? I want to challenge you. I want you to tell me, what are you getting out of being a folk on the hustler? How is that helping you? Oh man, you know, I got to look out for my homie. Okay, all right, well, keep on looking out for your homie then. That's what you do. See how good that's gonna get you.
Hey,
It won't do them no good if
Hey,
the
Mark.
National Guard come in.
Hey, Jay Reed, I accept your apology, brother. I just want you, because see, anybody that know me, let me say real quick, anybody that know me, Jay Reed, they know how I get down, that follow me. Some of you guys, you haven't learned me yet. You heard about me. You haven't watched me. You haven't followed me thoroughly to know my personality. Now, I'm not saying that I'm a perfect person when it comes to doing everything correct, but I got perfect love for my brothers and my sisters. And all I try to do is help us bring ideas, bring solutions, and let us know where we're going wrong. That's all. And I tell you, both of you guys witness, I don't never say I know everything. I'm still learning. Most of the time, I do less talking on this live. When it's a talk show, a panel like that, I want to hear from the guests. I'm learning, because what show that you can come on, Old Time and Marcus, and people don't know you from a can of paint, and they allow you to call in and talk, and they don't even screen you.
You can't do it.
You can't do it. They're not gonna allow you to do
Right.
it. I don't have no screener.
Not even on
Right.
WVON.
Yeah, they screen you.
Right.
What you want to say. What's your top? I don't do now. You can come on in and cuss me out. I wouldn't know what you're gonna say. I don't know you from a can of paint.
That's right, yeah.
Seriously.
Right.
So
You've been very liberal.
yeah.
Very liberal with the show.
Yeah, Old Time, you've been cussed out by Republicans on here, and I let Republicans come on here, I let Democrats come on here, and I just sit back and just let the people talk. I want to be, I want to hear from both sides and all that. And like I tell all my Republican friends, hey, I'm a registered Democrat. I have voted for Republican in the past, and I'm not gonna sit up here and lie. I see the flaws in the Democratic Party. I see the flaws in the Republican Party. So I'm not going to get on here. And I know it's going to take us to save us. That I do know, people. We're going to just have to buckle down. And if we keep waiting on either party to save us, it's not going to happen. We have to do for self. And we got to get in that mindset all the time. I want to say something. You said something earlier, old time. Not only a mindset of getting a job, we need a mindset of entrepreneurs too as well. That, you know,
That's true.
if you can't make it in entrepreneurship, you definitely going to have to get a job. Now, we realize everybody is not going to work a job. So if you decide in your mind that you're not going to work no job, you need to be looking into entrepreneurship, owning something or producing something or something. So you just can't be out here floating in your mama basement, rapping, and ain't doing nothing and playing video games. And I'm not against you living with your mother at 48 years old. I'm not against that. If that some of us, we don't want to leave our mother. Now I understand that. Here's a man right here, Marcus, stayed with his mother all his life. And he's a very good person. I ain't never know Marcus to rob nobody, take nothing from nobody. I ain't never known him to gang bang. He mind his business. He do what he do. He loved taking pictures, and that's what he do. He don't bother nobody. He ain't on Facebook begging for money. He get on here and talk live. He make his own lives and stuff like that. I remember him shooting in the playground. Tell me about it. I saw him shooting basketball. Now he's shooting all-star games, you know, baseball game, basketball
Just got through
game.
doing the Bulls.
Just got through doing the Bulls.
Just got through doing the Bulls.
Right. And, you know.
They lost tonight.
Right. And, you know, and that just, I mean, Marcus is a good person. So, listen, if I'm on a train at nighttime and I see Marcus, I'll be happy to see him because I know I'm safe because he's thinking like me. Some of you just call yourself independent and live away from your mama, you ain't no good. You the devil. I got to call it what it is. Any opportunity you get to hurt somebody or inflict pain, you will do it. You will do it. You don't care if it's a male or female or a little child, you will do it. We have some evil people out here, old timer, evil, and they don't want to change. And when we call them on the carpet about this stuff, then they get to justifying it. You can't justify why you knocked that man upside the head because he was staring at you. You can't justify snatching that woman's purse. She haven't done nothing to you. You greedy. It ain't like you hungry or barefooted or homeless, but you want to be selfish, defiant. You want to do what you want to do and don't have no consequences behind it. Don't call the police racist.
You know why?
Go ahead, Marcus.
You know why? I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, you know why some of the Africans hate us? They hate us because in America, believe it or not, we have an opportunity. We have an opportunity. Yeah, we got it tough. Yes, we got the race card against us. The odds are against us. But we have a greater opportunity than some of the people overseas. And so they sit here and look at this opportunity and wonder why we're not taking this opportunity. They see these kids, but all these kids is doing this is not representing the rest of the black kids. The ones that's not doing it, they don't get a front page on the newspaper. They don't get on the 10 o'clock news. Don't nobody know who they is because they're not violent. They're doing something with their lives. But the ones who ain't doing nothing, they affect the ones that's trying to do something. I remember my sister coming home from college, and she was on a bus where some Robertson kids were shooting off the back of the bus, and there was a car shooting at the bus, and it affected her. She had to deal with racism coming home from Columbia College, and then had to deal with this other type of prejudice coming into her own black community because she wasn't a part of that life. And almost lost her life.
Has joined.
We got a new caller, guys. Let me see what the new caller got to say. Hey, caller. Go ahead, 872 area code.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
That's good. This is Miss Holmes. How y'all doing tonight? I was
doing,
trying to
Miss
see
Holmes?
what was going on.
Oh, we just
I'm good. I'm good.
We got late midnight chat. That's chat. That's all. I was just
Oh,
asking.
Mark knows be looking for him every night. He knows that.
I know that, but you know, old time. It's so when I chase crime, man, and dude, it takes a lot of energy to come and do two things. I could do it, but it takes a lot of energy, and plus, you know, I'm working during the week. You're maneuvering my schedule and stuff like that. And I'm like the animal. If I don't go out there and kill nothing, it won't. You know, I can't eat. So it's like a jungle out there for me. So I have to go out there. So nothing. When I say that, people, that's just a figure of speech. Not no kill no person. That's all. Is what I'm saying. But go ahead, Miss Holmes. What you got to say, Miss Holmes?
Well, I was just basically just getting in, trying to see what you had going on this late night.
Mhm. Well, we talk about us, and what we doing out here, and the influence about young people. Older people should not be influencing young people to do wrong things and stuff like that. We shouldn't be doing that.
Well, we really shouldn't. I mean, but it takes a community to teach our people.
Hmm. Yes, it does. Are you a grandmother?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. I'm just asking because let me ask you a question. As being a grandmother,
Hmm.
when you see our young black youth, and I'm saying our as is general speaking as a group, and when you see them out here just blatantly just out here smashing and grabbing, knocking folks upside the head, shooting people for no cause, without cause. What's your mindset of that? I mean, what's your thoughts of that when you see that and hear about it?
Well, when I see and hear about it, it could be my daddy, my mama, my it could be my daddy, my mama, and my older family members. So I be peed off. I don't like that.
Hmm. Yeah, and let me just say this too. Let me just say this. Somebody I was on live today, and it was like black. It was I was at a protest, and people was like, "Black lives don't matter to black people because they could kill people." That's a white supremacist talking point. I ain't out here killing people. Old time ain't out here killing people. Marcus ain't out here. Black lives matter to us, and we're not talking about the organization, but we talking about black lives. That's what we're talking about. So don't get it screwed up now. I'm not part of the organization, but black lives do matter to me. And when we say black lives matter, that don't mean we saying there no other life matter, but right now we're talking about black lives matter. And that's what that means.
They know what it means.
Yeah, you're right.
They know
They know what it means.
Yeah.
And
They took that as just
anytime these white folks don't like a statement or an organization, not all Black Lives members organization are bad people. They done made a hit in their agenda. They didn't like the Black Panthers and told people the Black Panthers was a game.
Mm-hmm.
And some black people
Right.
believed it. Black lives do matter because for centuries, for decades, the government has ignored us. They have ignored the police shooting us. So we are saying Black lives matter. Since you ain't getting it, we got to say it to you in your face. Black lives matter. We know other lives matter. But apparently the American government don't think that black lives matter because they let these police off for killing black people and give them a paid vacation. So apparently our government still don't get it, even though we done had a black president, even though we got a black mayor, even though we got blacks in high power. Apparently the United States government don't get it, so you got to say it loud, like James Brown said, I'm black and I'm proud. Black lives matter. And any black person that's against that statement, go put a rope around your neck.
Yeah, because you got black people going around saying, like when something happens in the black community, they want to know where's the black protesters? Where's the Black Lives Matter group at? That Black Lives Matter group that just came up, but Black Lives Matter been going around for years. That Black Lives Matter, and to some people, Black lives don't matter. To anybody that's not black, Black lives don't matter, and they don't want to see black people flourishing. They don't want to see black people, doing things that are great, and they'll do anything they can to stop us from going to a higher level or whatever it is, So they'll do anything to kill your influence. But when they start killing, when you just start pulverizing and beating people, doing things and killing people at the drop of a hat, and you see where a white person can have a switchblade, a hammer, and can hold the police off at bay, and the police don't even do nothing to them. We already know But don't get me wrong now. We have to be smart.
Yeah.
But we have to see that these people have been trained, man. They've been trained not to kill their own people. The only time they do this stuff,
Joined.
they do that stuff on CSDNI or whatever these programs they have on TV, but they never shoot them in the back. They never shoot them in the back. There's always going to be some type of confrontation, but they ain't going to shoot no white person in the back on that CSI and those other programs because, but now they'll shoot us in the back.
Yes, they will.
And turn around and say, well, he turned around
Right.
and justify. And so we have a righteous indignation, a righteous hatred for it, and the people just don't want to give into it. You know, so what it is, but we can't go out there killing our own people.
Right.
You know, it ain't no way. It's amazing when you look at the amount of black people that get killed in Philadelphia, Detroit, New Orleans, New York, Los Angeles, Jacksonville, and we still surviving as a race with millions of people. I don't know if no other race is able to do that we kill this many people every year. Every year you got, unless these numbers are wrong. Now, because the numbers could be wrong. They could be inflated. But every year, we're not having that.
Yeah.
And then in the hospital, right?
Yeah.
In the healthcare.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, and we ain't having that many babies to compensate for all these people get killed. Pretty soon, you know, it's going to take a long time before we become extinct. But, you know, if we keep this going, man, we're going to have less and less people.
That's true.
And because every time they look at something from 20 to 30 years out. Even when they pass bills in the Senate, they say, well, in 2039, this is going to take place. In 2050, this is going to take place. I say, man, they looking that far ahead. But if we keep on killing all these people, and then we've been persuaded not to have any children. They're telling us not to have any children now.
Right.
So we don't see as many of our girls pregnant as it was before. And then you got a man that's running for president saying the reason why we can understand what he's going through because he got a mugshot. Man, come on, man, that's embarrassing for that man to say something like that.
Is
To us.
embarrassing. Yeah.
Who you talking to?
That's an insult.
That is insult.
That's an insult, man.
So
Come on, you know who people who love me, the black people. The black people. They really because of the mugshot. Because of the oh man. Come on, man. I got to turn to another channel. I can't even let you finish saying that.
yeah, that's game though. I gotta give it that's game on that, y'all. But we got a new caller. Okay, Jay Reed. Hey, how you doing, bro? Come on.
Hey, what's going on,
What's
Brother
going on?
Martin? How you doing, sir?
I'm straight. I'm good. What's on your mind today?
First and foremost, I want to apologize for my comment that I made. That's why I don't like sending text messages
Right,
because
your
text
apology
messages
accepted,
and
bro.
things
I mean, it happens.
And
It
things
happens,
can
brother.
be
Listen, it happens. And I could tell what
misconstrued.
you
You know what I'm
said.
saying?
I said he don't know me the way he don't. If you've been following me, you know me, and I could take that
No,
from
I don't.
people follow me like that. They don't know. You know what I'm saying? But when you follow
No,
me,
I don't know you personally.
right,
I don't know you personally, but I've been following you for a minute.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Even we met at the Day Center one day. You probably don't remember this. This was last year when they was doing the house music. You just filming down there having a good time. I came and just shook your hand.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm a sheriff and everything. So I just want to say that, man, I love your work and I love your content, that what you do. And I just felt like even some of the people that you used to, quote unquote, follow and hang with, like these activists, if we said, and I just felt this way, if I said something dead about these activists that, you know, that you was following at one point in time in your life, then you're like, oh man, I'm gonna block him, I'm gonna block this and block that. That's what I meant by that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, let me just say this. Every activist had their own identity. And I used to tell people they'll group me in with certain people. They see what I say, hold on, first of all, hey, I got my own lane. They have their own lane. Now, when we do get together on a project, all of us come together and do something together. So I understand you. But some of these activists, they're not for the community. They're for themselves and what they can get out of the people. And they begging for money and all
That is
that.
very true. That's very true. And
And I'm not part of
all.
that.
That's all I was saying. Like,
yeah, I understand you, man. Yeah.
Hey, brother, I love your content. I love your work. I'm gonna continue to follow you. Keep up a good job. You're doing a great things for this black community, for all communities, not even black people, for all of us.
But
you know
black
what I'm saying?
community first,
for
though, but
people.
all of us, though. I do.
Oh
work
yeah,
for
for
all.
everybody though.
Yeah.
for everybody though. You are a people person, and I just love your content, brother. And I'm gonna continue to watch you. And I had to call in just to say I apologize.
All right,
brother.
no problem.
No
I-
disrespect.
And I accept it. Let me just say this. You know, there's a theory out here to say that black people don't like the police or they don't support the police. Now, today I went to a protest out there in Flossmoor, Homewood Flossmoor. There was a black chief that got terminated for nothing. They couldn't give no excuse why they terminated him, really. Nothing tangible. But it was black people out there asking them to reinstate this black man. So a lot of times what we see on TV don't be true. You know, a lot of
That's
people,
true.
you know, when it comes to law enforcement, everybody's not against law enforcement, man. We just want them to do what's right by our people.
That's true.
That's all. That's all I ask. You know, I
Be
tell
fair.
people,
We want them to.
go ahead,
We
Mark.
want them to be fair by us.
Right.
We want them to be fair by us. Most black people don't hate the police. It's the fact that the media, we see the wrong people. I'm not going to even call them police officers. I'm going to call them people who trick the system to get the badge to bring their racist agenda to work with them. We see those people getting off, and I think that's what frustrates a lot of black people. It's not that we hate the police. We want to be treated fairly. We don't want to be treated like criminals in our own neighborhood. Like you riding down our street, you see a group of black men standing out having a conversation, and you a man, and you get out your car and you talk to these men like they kids. So you're gonna get a certain reaction because you're talking to grown men like they're kids, and you can't talk to grown men like they're kids. You can't tell a man to go in the house and he in front of his own house having a conversation with another man. Some of them
You know what?
bring their attitudes to work.
You're absolutely right. And I don't mean to cut you off. You're absolutely right. I had it happen to me. A police officer, I'm law enforcement, tell me to come here. For what? I ain't did nothing. You know what I'm saying? And just the way his approach was, come here. Like I'm some type of kid or something. No, you absolutely right about that. I just choose to treat them a little bit different because I know their mentality. I already know I got one strike against me because I'm black and I'm young. You know what I'm saying? So I choose to treat them a little bit different, you know, and that's what I try to teach my sons. It's hard out here when you have teenage sons and they driving and they good kids.
Right.
They going to college and things like that, and he go officer, get your ass out the car. Oh, I'm sorry, Monster.
No, I'm not saying. Go
But
ahead.
Yeah, that's how they talk.
That's how they talk. Get your ass. And my son just he missed a stop sign or something. You know what I'm saying? That's not right. You know what I'm saying? However, you just got to teach your children how to react to ignorance sometimes.
Yeah.
And some of them, they have this perimeter thing where I grew up in Inglewood, and they'll pull you over for nothing and say, well, you're in a high crime neighborhood. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm not committing no crime. And they will say stuff like, you just ain't got caught yet. You ain't in no gang. You just ain't got caught yet. Whoa. I'm supposed to get caught in y'all system. Now you're going to get a kind of negative reaction from me because you're insulting me. So if I didn't know better, I would have really went off on the police officers when I was a teenager. But I knew better, and I knew that I would have my say in court.
Yeah. Well, let me
Let
just
them
say,
have
I'm gonna give you one example about my experience. I was in full uniform driving through Bridgeport. I'm from the west side. I know nothing about the south side. They pulled me over. And the first thing they said, you must don't know where you at. And that was kind of crazy to me. Wow. And they said to me, you need to get away from here. You know, and I'm in full uniform.
Wow.
And those the cool cops in my aspect. You know what I'm saying? So I have to, I look at it both ways sometimes. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And it's the right thing to
Yeah.
do. Well, let me just say this. I've been downtown when the young people call themselves trending. And the way you hear some of them officers talk to some of them young people, when the cameras are not shining and nothing like that, it's terrible. It can't do nothing but provoke them.
Horrible.
Provoke. Now, don't get me wrong. Listen, this is America. They can go downtown. I tell young people, as long as you're not crowding the sidewalk, let people get by. Don't go and raid people's business and snatch stuff. Don't do that. You have a right to go downtown, but you have to do the right thing when you down there, anywhere. But far as police saying things to you and it's gonna provoke you, one thing I could say, old timer, black people, we have this thing when it come to white people screaming and yelling at us. It's like it's a button in that they can push and they know it. And that's why you have to control your emotions. And we know it. And so I've seen them talk real dirty to young people down there. Dirty to them. Do little things dirty, sneaky to them. I've seen it because I've been down there with them, watching them operate. And so we have to be careful. A lot of the incidents that go on downtown, they're trending on Roosevelt, is provoked. It's provoked. And see, we don't see that part of the camera. We don't see that or hear about it. So we have to be careful, people. We got a new caller. Thank you so much, Jay Reed. You don't have to hang up if you want to, but I'm going to take this new caller. Area code,
Yes, sir.
5272.
Has joined.
Hey, caller, 5272. Come on, talk with us.
Hi, Mr. Martin.
How you
My name
doing?
is Carlotta, and I thank you
Hey.
for all that you do, first of all. I'm originally from Chicago, and I used to watch you in California.
Okay.
And I just moved back home recently, and the young lady, Cheyenne, that we just seen on the news, I knew that family, and I can't sleep. That's why I am up, because it's heavy on my heart. I was very involved in the community out there and trying to get involved in the community out here, not knowing where to go and not to do. And there were some comments that was made in the post. And I just want to say it has nothing to do with, like, I feel like we losing our kids for many a reason. My age group dropped the ball big time. I say that very much.
Tell the
people
truth
that's in their 30s and
and
40s
shame the devil. Go ahead.
dropped the ball. We didn't want to be like our ancestors, and we didn't want to be hard on our kids and those things. And we just turned a blind eye. The village stopped being the village. Those are some of the issues that we have in our culture right now, is because we stopped doing what we knew to do. We got fearful of, we was told we couldn't whip our kids when they were doing wrong. Police have no problem with us spanking our kids. They just don't want the bruises on the kids. You can whip a child, but I had known that because my godfather is a sergeant in California. And when I was getting on my boy, he was like, oh no, we agree about spanking them. Just don't beat them where there's bruises. Make sure you get on the button. I said, well, what if they move? They said they understand that it's like a punch that they don't want. So we as a culture, we stood on those things as a village, praying. He was able to say, Miss Thomas, I seen your kid and he was acting up. You said something to him and I'm going to say something to him. We lost that in our culture. These kids, not only we say it's the music, it's not just the music. They're in school and half of them don't even understand the education that they're getting. That's another problem. Because for me, I was a child that just got pushed along through school until I became an advocate for my own self and understanding that I learned different. I didn't understand. You can lecture me all day. I'm not going to get it. I'm a visual learner. So we have kids in there that's visual learners. Our family told us, oh, you were bad, or the girl was fast, not knowing there was a rooted problem that no one's talked about. So come to find out, as I started getting older and talking about it, everybody, when I started saying what was going on, they was like, oh, we can see that. We can't just pass these kids along. I'm seeing it, and it's like, what do? We got to come up with some kind of solution. One of them was teach our culture outside of the school on education, finance, and the things that we're not getting in school that we should be getting. Let's figure out how to do that. It's just heavy on my heart, and I don't know where to start because I just moved back here in Chicago. But if there's any information that you can help me get into the community and start helping, I want to help. I want not just to sit back and just talk about these children, talk about the adults that showed them how to do the crimes, but now we're discussing, oh, they're doing this. What are we going to do to solution to get these kids off these streets as much as they want to? Because some of these kids don't want to go on the streets like that. They're just trying to figure out life because whatever's going on at home, a parent's not paying attention. Some of them are paying attention. But what can we do to help? And I live on the west side. So if there's anything that you know that's community activists out here, please send me an inbox me and let me know.
Okay. Let me say
I'll
this.
give you a little advice.
Go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead.
The park district, what you just said, you want to teach a class, teach kids about finance, go to your nearest park, get to know your supervisor, talk to that supervisor and explain to them what you want to do and see can they give you space and time and put it in their schedule that they have this particular program at this park and you're going to teach this particular like finance or whatever, or if you got other people that want to help you out, you all can like rent out space or they will give you space because you're part of the community. They will give you space to teach those classes, but you got to go to the park district and talk to the supervisor at that particular park and tell them what you want to do, and they may be on board.
Okay. Thank you.
The library,
Thank you.
the
'Cause I
library does it too. They have a little room, community room too. You could do community things too. The library as well, same as the public property, Chicago public library. They have little rooms and stuff where you can hold little functions and stuff free, sometimes free of charge, depending for the community and stuff like that. So you just had to get involved. What I did was how I got involved because I started going to like different protests, different things, and I started seeing some familiar faces, more. I'd be out there, and that's all it takes. You got to just get out there, and until you find out the area where you best fit, you support what you capable of doing. Everybody can't chase crime. Everybody can't protest stand in front of. Everybody have their strengths and different things like that. You have some people, they don't protest, they don't do nothing. They just bless people with money and help their cause and stuff like that, or give their time. So it depends on what your strengths are, what you want to do. You definitely will. And I will inbox you, find out, what your strength, who you want to link with and things like that. Because it's about the people. And I must admit,
It's definitely about us.
You'll find out some people that's not right. You'll think their heart is in the right place, but that's another story, a whole nother chapter. Because everybody.
Thank you for telling me that, because
So,
my family tell me I'm naive because I
Right,
want to
right.
see people win.
right.
And I
So,
just want to know, like, I know there's something going on there. I just got a thing sent to me saying, like, tomorrow, Crane is hosting, one of the people are hosting something over there at Crane for the youth to sign up for sports and things of that nature. I'm like, I just don't know. Like, I just see that we can get some of this subsidized, like how Martin and Luther King and all of them. We didn't pass that knowledge down.
no.
It wasn't passed down. And because it wasn't passed down, and people are starting to be afraid to even have a conversation or to say anything, we can't be afraid. This is us. This is our block. When you were saying about the cigarettes and stuff being poured out on the streets and stuff, I can tell you this. I moved here, and when I started talking about, do y'all understand that that's y'all property taxes? That's what's making y'all neighborhood look bad, and that's why they say our neighborhood is bad, because y'all litter. And my friend was like, what do you mean? I said, that puts a look on y'all. So they call y'all the hood because look what y'all doing. Y'all just throwing stuff on the grass, throwing stuff outside. That's what they're looking at. And then you go look it up, it will tell you this is why y'all property value went down, because they judge you on that. Don't do that. Clean up your neighborhood. Y'all talking about y'all want more money in the neighborhood. They ain't gonna give you nothing if y'all don't care about. We start off the first. We gotta care about our neighborhood. We gotta care about our people. Then when they see that we're caring, then that's when they'll start caring. But until we see that we're caring about our neighborhood, they don't care. That's not a race color. That's right. White, black. I know some black people that don't care because we're not caring.
Well, let me say this.
It doesn't have nothing to do with that.
Let me just say this. I agree with you partially on some of that, but some of it is play race, because there's no reason why that all 77 communities here in the city of Chicago, all the ones that are predominantly white, they're thriving, and the blacks aren't. That's by design, period. We have the same alderman, the same mayor, but somehow resources don't seem to get to the black community. That's by design.
Now, every block, even on the west side, you got some blocks that's real maintained. The grass is cut, it's clean on certain areas in the west side. And the same way with the south side. Now, just imagine this. Now, they've spent $1 billion plus on the migrants. Imagine investing $1 billion in the black community on the south and the west side. How far advanced we will be, not just in buying property, but invest in the children, investing in people, you know, and that's all I'm saying.
And I agree with that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely agree with
Amen.
that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just came here from California, and I was looking on how to find a job, all the resources and everything I got. It was like, you got to go south. And I'm like, we don't have resources on this side. Like, there's no information on like job search and the WIA program and all that. And they was like, no, you got to go on 26 or over there. And I'm like, we don't have resources. Why we don't have resources? I took sick, and I'm like, well, I can get FMLA. And the unemployment was like, no, you can't. You got to be able to work. And I'm like, the system is so broken, and it's the legit station. I don't know how to say the word right, but we don't look into the fine print of stuff in this government, and stuff hasn't been updated in so long. And I just found that out by me going through unemployment. The stuff haven't been updated in so.
Well, let me say this to you, sister. You may not know this, but let me tell you this. You can receive unemployment as long as you're listen. Okay, listen to me real closely. They're not going to tell you this unemployment. You can receive unemployment while you're going to school, as long as you're going to school after 5. See, in the daytime, that's time that you find jobs. You like between 9 and 5 doing interviews, but you can allow to get unemployment, go to school at the same time. They would not tell you that, but that's because people that's sitting in these offices that look like us would not tell us. These jobs tell them not to. Like when I was doing social service work, and the first thing they just tell us, if don't volunteer, no information. And I used to get on them. I said, listen, we're getting all this grant money to help these homeless people and all that. These jewel coupons, we having lunch with their jewel coupons, meetings and all that. These are for the clients. These bus cards, these are for the clients. These are not for us. Get these people, this is what we get this grant for. So we have to be, this is how we have to do it. And sometimes that money never reached the people who is supposed to reach on paper. So I'm telling you, sister,
it doesn't.
You just have to get out here and network and talk to people, engage yourself. There's plenty of resources out here. We just have to find them. And we have to ask people, if you know something, don't hold that information. Black people, they do that well.
Yeah.
Well, don't let a lot of black people know, and they do it. Come on, people, get that information up. Give it up. Give it up.
Yes, sir.
Trust me.
Thank you.
Yeah,
y'all be blessed.
You too. Thank you. We got Doc on the line. Hey, Doc, how you doing? Dr. Davis, I think that's her. Hey, Doc. Is that you? 0069?
Yes, it is me. I was trying to unmute myself.
Okay.
Congratulations on, I sit there and I like, am I echoing?
No, you're good. You're good. No, you're good on my end.
Okay, great.
Go ahead.
Congratulations on getting out there protesters. That's the same. You are 100% right. I don't know why people want to hold back information for us to expel, because it is not fair that, and I'm not trying to talk about the migrant people. Please, no, I'm not trying to talk. But in Venezuela, they do not have access to health care like we do. Okay? So we're not surprised that they're bringing over measles. We don't know what else they have, and that's scary. It's really, really scary. And we don't know. It's right now, it's at the number 5 kids with measles. So that's kind of scary.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't had, the last measles case was in 2019. Prior to that was years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that's scary.
Doc,
that is really,
Doc,
really
let me
scary.
say something real quick about that. Now, those were some of our concerns when we were going down to City Hall and speaking with, City Council and let them know. Now, and I know here in America, right here in Chicago, If you don't get all your immunization shots, they give you a certain period of time and they expel you. You can't come back no more. And that's why we were saying, how could you guys just throw the migrants in these schools and they don't have their shots and stuff like that? This is stuff that we were saying to avoid. Now, and I'm not going at the migrants. They, everybody need health care. I'm with you on that. But what I'm saying, these are some of the concerns the African American community that we had. Like, okay, you put them in there with us. Okay, you bringing them into school, and you told us that we need this shot, we need this physical. If we don't get this by this X amount of date, we can't come back. And so, why wasn't that same energy put on the migrants? And we could avoid stuff like this. Now that you hearing there's 5 people, I thought it was 2 or 3. It's 5 now. We don't know.
It's 5.
We don't even know how many blacks probably, or who they go, or Mexicans who they going to school with that may have measles now, just because of stuff like this. So I believe in medical science. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying tried medical science. I'll say that. And we had to be careful. These are some of the concerns that we had in the community, in the black community. Now they see it. A lot of time people think we just talking blah, 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 blah. But this is some of the same concerns that we had about the health issues coming among us. Are you vaccinated? That's all we was concerned about. And it's a legitimate concern. But go ahead, Doc. I just want to throw that out there.
Well, that's everything you said is true, and it is very scary because we have a lot of people from as well as other countries that has not been vaccinated on anything, and we don't know what they bringing into this country, and it's scary. So just to give you an example, my daughter and I was food poisoned 2 weeks ago. We've been so sick. I've been going through this. My daughter done got better. I've been going to this particular restaurant on 79th Street for 15 years. And we've been so sick. And it's like, you don't know what is out here. So that only encouraged me to start back cooking heavy because we don't know. We really don't know. So everybody has to be careful and be vigilant and not be so quick to eat outside and everything because they bringing in a lot of stuff. Now, I told everybody that my daughter go to Horace Mann, right? Right there on 80th and Chappelle. We got about 15 migrants in that school. Who's to say that any of them have measles or anything else? We don't know. So luckily, when I was coming around, I had the measles. It's so funny because my grandmother told my mother, give her a can of beer. That's what, and the measles went away within 2 days. Like, what? She said beer dries up measles. But people don't understand it. They don't know the old school remedies. So, I congratulate you on bringing on this subject. We miss you. You ain't been around in some few days.
I've been chasing crime.
Congratulate you, but it's tough.
Blame it on the crime. Because, when I do a crime scene, it takes a lot of energy. When I was standing out there on 80th and West and I was cold, it takes a lot of energy. People, I don't take this lightly. I'm not one of those looking for clout or chasing clout. I care about what happens in the community. I have a strong concern when the police and a regular citizen having a shootout. I don't want nobody down neither side. But I want us to respect authority, though, because I feel like if you shoot out with the police, what you think about me? I don't stand a chance.
Not to change the subject. You all know that they shot up, in the area of Miss Lori Lightfoot, former Mayor Lori Lightfoot.
I heard about that too.
At the police car, and then on 95th and Cottage Grove. What is this summer gonna be like? Now I can tell you all where I'm at. I'm on 77 in Thompson. We've been here. We don't hear this in this area. We might hear it on 79th, but people just driving through this area. Now, where you were at on 80th and Western, he was a Mexican. Was he a migrant?
I don't know. I wasn't for sure. I know his name was Bradley Diablo or something like that. So I don't know if he was a migrant. Now they're keeping that real hush hush. Yeah.
They are.
They keeping it. And see, these are the concerns that we had in the African American community. Now you allowing migrants to come over here, which we are a sanctuary city, like it, love it or not. But if you out here committing crimes, shooting at the police, smashing and grabbing, you go back. You know, we don't need that. We have enough of that already in our community. We don't need no more added crimes to the community, especially in the Black community. That's just me saying that. That's me speaking. You know, it's tough.
Now, you know what I'm afraid of? I'm afraid of that the migrants going to start robbing people in the Black community, and they're going to run up on the wrong people. Have mercy.
That's going to start.
I just think that this summer is going to be a beast, and we need to get ready.
You guys
and
keep
we have
talking
to be
about
ready.
the summer? It's starting right now.
It is.
Listen, don't put it off in the future. It's starting right now. You don't have to listen. Crime
It
don't
is,
have to
but
listen.
Martin,
Yeah.
when it's hotter in Chicago, we all know that crime rise. That's why people keep saying when it gets summertime, we in trouble. It is starting right now. I mean, I never heard this much shooting I never heard this much shooting in my neighborhood before. Like, what?
Well, see, let me say this, Doc. Let me say this to you. Because you haven't heard it, that doesn't mean it wasn't happening. See, I'm going to say this, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but I brought to the forefront crime in the city of Chicago. I exposed crime in its rarest form in the city of Chicago. And a lot of people have came to me and said, hey, man, Martin, I would have never known that. I didn't see it on the news if you hadn't went over there, went live. I'm telling you. Because it was a lot of working class people such as yourself, Doc. You go on majority day, you didn't know that there was a woman found dead in your alley. I'm just speaking, hypothetically speaking. You didn't know that until you seen it on social media, until you seen it on my live or something. So I've shown a lot of crime that did not make the media, wasn't even talked about. It was like it's almost swept under the rug. So we have to be careful out here, people, and be aware of what's going on in these communities. A lot of these communities, they try to hide the crime because it makes the property value go down and stuff like that. And they don't want to scare the tenants. It's just like when women get raped, there's a serious raper. They don't want that to get out because the women's on high alert. Then they have to do their job. Then it's a lot of pressure from on high put on the police to do their job. Right now, I got a young man. I watched him grow up. I grew up with his father. I went to school with his mother. He's shot twice right now, laying in the hospital right now. And let me tell you this. I might call him when I'm on live, though. And the police have not came up there and visited him yet. The detectives working on his case won't be back in 2 weeks. So he got to wait the whole 2 weeks. Now, what if he died within that 2 weeks period and you don't know who the person that shot him is? He got, see, these are things that we deal with in the Black community. A 16-year-old shot a grown man. This man is in his 20s. He don't bother nobody. I know him personally, but he didn't deserve to be shot like that. So what I'm saying is CPD have to get on their job. The detective division, you guys got to get on your job. You got to put a pressure on the higher up for more detectives to solve these crimes. We're not going to be walking around here and our loved ones are shot and gunned down and we can't get no justice. We don't get a phone call. We don't get a follow-up, nothing, period. I've seen it too many times where family members call in. They say, well, your detective, he's not in. Call back. Then when they call back, don't call us. We'll call you when we get some information. Now it's 1 year. Now it's 2 years. Now it's 3 years. No information. I've seen this. Parents call me upset. Like, man, what's going on? My son been dead and I haven't heard anything. They had cameras on that. They haven't told us anything. Well, man, we can't reveal too much information because it's still under investigation. It's any type of excuse to keep you from not calling. It's like you bugging them when you call in. Oh, he's in the meeting, or she's in the meeting, or she's on vacation. Any of you guys that out there listen to me talk, you know I'm not lying about what I'm saying.
Call about your
Yeah,
loved one
man.
that been killed, shot and killed in the city of Chicago, and call a detective and see what they tell you. Oh, he on the other line, or he's not in. He be on vacation. Don't call us. We'll call you and let you know. These are the same scripts that they use. I know, doctor, because people call and tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let it been little Susie.
I work with a lot of other things.
Susie in Bridgeport.
It's
totally different.
Let it be a cop. They
They'd
know how
have
to
found
find
a
them killers.
detective.
Yeah.
They'd have found a detective.
Right.
They'd have made him come off of vacation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And see, and listen.
Just like that Chicago police officer got shot. The
Yeah.
sergeant, he got shot on 109th and what? Pulaski? They already arrested the man.
Mhm. But that goes to show you, I never, listen to me, see, Chicago police officer, if you're listening, anybody work with law enforcement, I don't doubt that the police can't solve crimes. I doubt the motivation to solve the crimes, especially in the Black community. I know. I've watched police get shot and killed here in the city of Chicago, and you solve that crime, you're going to get that person, the perpetrator, less than a day or two. So I know you can solve crime. I know you can. But it's when it come to us and you dragging your foot, as they say, or dragging your feet. Go ahead, guys. I just had to say that. That's why
Because they don't view us as human beings. I mean, most of these detectives are probably white that they have handling these cases. And we just a caseload to them. Not only with murder, but carjackings and anything else. You get robbed, they don't contact you. That's just a lie. They tell you that to get you off the phone and keep you from coming down to the station. And if you come down to the station, they got an attitude with you. And you trying to help them.
There's a sister right here that's on my
Yeah,
live.
I actually gave.
Hold on, sister.
I gave two, real quick, y'all. I gave two detectives my videos off my house outside. They still ain't caught those 3 criminals yet that busted this woman here that was walking down the street. She was walking east to Jeffrey. They ain't found them yet. But they found the car.
See?
Stolen. It was a Charger sitting on Stony Island. I'm going on mute.
I had they had stole my car when I was living in Inglewood. Tow truck stole it. So I went to the neighborhood store and got the video, sent it to the detective. You know, the detective told me, well, how I know this particular driver, they may have a lot of drivers in this company, but I'm showing you the company that was responsible for stealing my car, my vehicle. You know, never got back with me or anything. So I'm telling you people, this stuff is real out here. It's real. And I'm the crime chaser. That's how they did me. And listen, Black people, a lot of them think that we deserve death. We deserve what we got coming to us. And they're not going to, let me just say this, and I'm saying this is my opinion. If a white man is viewing you as an enemy, as less than or subhuman, he's not going to do his job fully to solve a crime, period. It's not going to do that because hate is motivating him not to do his job correctly. Hate is something else, people.
And if you do it, they want to lock you up.
Yeah.
If you do something about it, they want to lock you up.
And that's
I
why
remember one time.
Go ahead, Mark.
Go ahead. I remember one time that I was coming home in Inglewood, and these kids ran up on me. One of them pulled a gun and pointed it at me. And I just started to scream for some reason. They ran. That's when I realized, it's a fake gun. But I called the police anyway. The uniformed cops came with their guns out looking for them. But once they couldn't find them, it falls to the detectives. So I found what he looked like in a stash of my basketball pictures that I would shoot at the park. And I took it to the police station. And the desk sergeant had an attitude with me right here at 7th District. How was you able to obtain a picture? I said, well, I'm a photojournalist and I do a lot of park district sports. And it just so happened, this kid is in the background in one of them. This is a clear photo. Well, you got to take it to 51st. and I took it to 51st. The detective gonna claim that he couldn't really make out the picture. I'm like, I got glasses that can make that out with my glasses on and off. They ain't trying to do nothing. They're not trying to do nothing.
What the fuck is you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not trying to do nothing. But if you do something, they're ready to lock you up real quick. They'll come lock you up real quick for taking the law in your own hands. But it's coming to that point because they're not solving crime.
Well, this is what you see right now, Marcus. That's why you see a lot of these killings that you see out here amongst the young people are retaliatory killings because the police have not swiftly solved these crimes. And when they feel like the police is not going to do anything or rush to try to solve the crime, that's when the retaliation comes. Okay, well, since they ain't going to solve it, and old boy still walking up the street like it's sweet, ain't nothing happening, let me get him. And that's the way they looking at it. On social media, still talking, and so that's why people take the law in their own hands. Then they arrest you.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these killers, that's what you see, people. This is what you are witnessing right now. You can't blame on talking about Kim Fox letting them out of jail. First of all, there is a system in play. Before even Kim Fox was born, before any one of us born, it's a system in play. Kim Fox cannot change the rules. She enforced the rules, abide by the rules. So you can't say Kim Fox letting them out of jail. Kim Fox don't arrest them. They prosecute cases. Your paperwork have to be right. So that's a cop-out, people, when you hear say Kim Fox letting them out of jail. That's a cop-out. Kim Fox not arresting nobody. Now, Kim Fox is not going to be in office anymore. She's not running for another term. Now, if this white lady get in here, she wants to make a felony at $300. You go stealing out of these stores and steal $300. That's a felony. And we all know if you get a felony on your record, it's so many jobs that you can't even qualify for. Period. And we know these things.
Martin, I got to say this. Kim Fox was under pressure, and she stepping down because of that pressure. But I wanna proudly thank some of these knuckleheaded young black brothers and sisters who made her look bad. She was a great state's attorney. The police was blaming everything on her because they couldn't get loose like loose dogs and lock up black people and throw them under the bus. Well, we get a white state's attorney in there, you finna get thrown under the bus. Enjoy your fun right now, because that white woman get in there, she coming in there with a guillotine. She chopping heads and she lynching. You will get locked
Well,
up.
can I say this? Is that old timer?
No, that was
No,
Marcus.
that's me, Marcus.
Hey, Mr. Marcus. I don't care what color you are. You can be black, white. I don't really care. But you cannot be out here doing crime and you don't do the time. Period.
No, but
I'm
see,
not
I believe
against
that.
Kim Fox
Doc.
or anyone else.
Doctor,
But guess what? No, I'm sorry. My mother, when she was living, she died in 2021. She was 75 years old. Now, I'm going to say this and I'm going to make it real brief. I was in the corner store, the gas station on 76 and Jeffrey this past Saturday. It kind of broke my heart. I knew this guy had a mental problem. He was in the store that's owned by Arab. He was kicking open the door. Excuse my ignorance. Kicking open the door. He was trying to steal a 50-cent juice. I said, man, dude, I'll pay for this. I gave him my look. He locked the Arab. They young. He had a mental problem. They don't know how to deal with that. They only in their 20s. He was trying to kick open the door and then they locked the door on us. You can't leave me and my daughter in here. I don't know what this man is going to do. I don't want to have to pull out my gun and kill this man. Please. So I calmed him down. Calm down. That's not the first time this happened. There's a lot of mental people out here. They don't have enough police officers that's trained. And this is nothing to play with. Because I'm starting to see this more and more and more because they done, of course, closed the mental institution. And you know what this young man did? He went outside finally. They unlocked the doors for us. They kind of worked my nerves. And luckily, I didn't have my gun on me. And I told them Arabs, you all are in cahoots. You don't stay here in my community and call him a nigger. Who the hell you think you are? Okay? So when he came outside, he was on a divvy bike. He took his whole shirt off, had it on his stomach, and rolled off. He said, I should have killed them MF. This is me. Lord have mercy. Boy, go get you some help. And I know he's not a boy. He was a man. Go get some help, baby. Please, go get some help. We just have too many people against us. I don't like it. That's why I try to stay away from folks, because this is don't make no. We was up there. My daughter said, "Oh, Mom, it was 1 o'clock." My daughter's only 11 years old. Come on, make that make sense. And she's scared. She dropped everything in her hand. I was up there playing my lottery, by the way. And she dropped everything in her hand and tried to run out the door, and we couldn't. I don't care if you black, white. If you're doing a crime, you have to do the time, or you got to get some help. Period.
Well, let me just say
They
this,
have
doctor.
to get some help.
Doctor, I got to say this. For so long, and I came up during the crack epidemic, during the 80s and all that. I came up before then, but we would get more time for crack, rock cocaine, and they get powdered, same cocaine. And we would get more time. My time, the time doesn't fit the punishment. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Listen, I remember this. I got locked up for domestic violence back in 99, I think it was. I had never been locked up. College, 2 years of college, working and all that. Me and this white guy had the same background. His bond was $300 and mine was $350. We had the almost identical same background. So what I'm saying is the system railroads people that look like you and I. You know what I'm saying? I believe in punishment. I believe in punishment. But the punishment has to fit the crime. You can't, listen, a white boy kills somebody, gets charged with second-degree murder, 6 years and come home. A black man do it, he 15 years and come home. You can't, that's not right. Then our young people are looking at them, watching this, and that's why they are so mad at us. The sister said it earlier. A lot of women in their 30s and 40s, we have dropped the ball, she said. We despise our upbringing, that village. We despise it, and that's why we have these things now. Our young people, they are not the young people of the 60s. If you hit them, they're going to hit you back. Or the 80s. They wouldn't have died. They wouldn't have died. They don't care about getting no felony. They don't care about no education. Not all of them. Some of them don't care. You're just not going to do them. We're not our parents. I used to protest with a lot of them. And I seen them young people fighting the police. And I asked them, well, why are you fighting the police like that? We ain't none of our parents. We ain't scared of the police. You know that term, say F12. You know, Marcus, you was right down there with me.
Yeah, they would say, we are not our ancestors. We are not our ancestors. We're not going to take what our ancestors took. They're not singing We Shall Overcome. They're not kneeling and praying. They was throwing down, and they weren't playing. And anybody that tried to stop them.
But they got to stop committing crime.
Well, let me
What is they out here shooting for? For what?
Right, but listen, let me just say, now, if we want to get to the root of that too as well, where are they getting the guns from? So you telling me you got people out here that's 11 years old, your daughter's age, they got guns. You barely even got a pair of shoes on your feet, but you got a $1,000 gun. These guns are expensive. Go to the gun store and purchase some of these guns. Even the ammunition is going up. Where did he get this gun? 11 years old. Where did an 11-year-old get a gun from? Come on,
with
man.
a clip on it.
That's just like me giving
They stopped them trying.
Hey, that's just like me giving the keys to my. Hold on. That's just like giving the keys to my car to a young person and say, "Here, drive this car and don't go over 35 miles per hour." We know that's not gonna happen. So I'm comparing it to if you give a young person a gun, the first reaction, I would say, negative reaction, or they feel threatened, guess what? They're going to pull a gun out and start shooting. They might not hit their target, but somebody's going to get hit. So what I'm saying is there's a spook in the room somewhere. There's somebody throwing a stone and hiding their hands. Now, not only we want to talk about our young people shooting, but we want to talk about where are our young people getting guns from. They're not made in South Shore. They're not made in Woodlawn.
No,
They're
they're
not
not.
made in Roseland, Lawndale. They're not made in none of these areas, but they're so plentiful. So we got to get on our young people too. We got to hold them accountable for shooting. But where are they getting these weapons at? And that's the thing. See, we have developed a culture amongst young people. And I said it earlier today. I don't know if you was on here. If you got a bunch of young people inside one room partying, and they drinking, smoking loud, smoking weed, popping pills, sipping on some lean, whatever they call that stuff is, and they listen to all drill music all night long. What are you? You're a psychiatrist. You know what can happen? What? Look at the influence. The influence. And we know drill music is about killing, sex, drugs, taunting, killing your oppositions and all that. That's what that music is about. And some of us grown folks, we listening to it too. We encouraging that music. And that's an agenda that's being pushed on our young people. Now listen, you said, well, Martin, I'm 43. I used to listen to all that gangster rap, and I never shot and killed nobody, but you're not them. Your mind, just thank God that you had a mind to know not to go out there and do it. Somebody may not be as strong as you in their mind, or the influence may be stronger now for them to go out there and do what these songs say. And like you said, Marcus, a lot of these rappers, what they sing about or rap about, they have never experienced it. As the young folks say, they're capping. They're capping. That's what they're doing. Listen, Doc, here I am, 15 years old, and they having a function over here on 79th and Oglesby. We just said function. And I drive by in the car, and I stick my hand out the window and just start shooting in the crowd of people that have never done anything to me. This ain't even gang related. It's just because I'm feeling a certain way. I want to test out this new gun that I got. On some people that I know that's not going to shoot back. I'm telling you. And I always say this on this live. I haven't said it lately. Right now, as I speak, it's 1-something in the morning. Some young person riding around ready to test out their gun. They waiting on one negative reaction. One negative reaction. You mean mug them. Or you cut them off in traffic. Bam, 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 bam. They shooting. I'm telling you, people, we're dealing with a sick culture out here. Sick-minded. Doctor said more than I do. She talked to her people more than I do. That's her profession. So she know more than I do. She's dealing with these people. I can imagine some of the things that she hear. Well, why did you shoot so-and-so? I didn't like the way he looked at me. He looked at my mama a certain way. Every time I come outside, he always looking to see what I'm driving into. But you shot him. I believe he was calling the police on me all the time. That's why the police was coming on, making the block hot. These are the things that young people can't think straight, thinking. Listen, Old Timer said it. He said, when I was a child, I spoke as a child. But when I became older, I put away childish things. That's in the Bible. That's what Paul said. And that's what a lot of our young people are doing. They have childish minds, and they've grown up in age, but they never grow up. As Sarge said, they grown, but they never grow up. Just like that man on the train with Marcus the other day, influencing young people to continue to smoke and do all this. Full-grown man, but he never grew up. And you got some men out here that's influencing this negative behavior, and parents too. You still throwing up gang signs. You're a grandmama. You still throwing up these signs. You still talking that young talk, opposition. You still, you talking that street talk. That's all you know.
Now, when your children do it, now you looking crazy. I got to tell the truth and shame the devil. But I'm done talking. Go ahead, old timer. This is your subject here. Go ahead, old timer.
Well, I mean, you're telling the truth. You're saying what's right. I mean, we have to admit that there's a lot of things that we ascribe to and a lot of things that we like. You know, I mean, I listen to the stuff, and I'm not going to say that I ain't never been part of it, but I learned that, you know, what benefits and what don't benefit, and grown men have to look at it and see that their children is going to be a product of them. Now, I just say it this way. Some things that I saw in my children, I say, now, see, now that's me, but they don't know that. You know, if they lose in the mind on some things, and I'm looking at them doing it, I say, now, you know, now I got to see how I got to get this about them, because I don't want them to be an excuse maker. I don't want them to turn around and say that, you know, they ain't got no opportunity. My father told me, I used to try to, you know, hide behind stuff. He told me, he said, son, let me tell you like this here. He said, the teacher got their education. You got to get yours. I mean, you can't come home complaining about the teacher. And I'm not trying to say a lot of things that's negative about black. I'm just saying that some people got to find a category where they fit in at. And if they fit in with some weak people, then they're going to be with some weak people. And there's some people that's strong. I mean, most of us can look at Channel 7, look at Channel 5, and look at Channel 2 and 32, and we can see what type of black people they're going to hire. They're going to hire black people they feel that's going to promote their show and going to do things that's going to promote the show. They're just not going to go out there and get on anybody. Now, if you don't desire to do that kind of work, and you want to be a rapper using the N-word and all of that, well, then, you know, that's what you're going to be known for. See, and you can have a lot of people, but when it comes down to a Cheryl Burton and that other young man and these other blacks they got on these other news channels, they know how to talk, they know how to pronounce words. I mean, if we don't desire, and I'm not saying we don't desire to do that, we're going to always have some people that's at that level. But Mr. T used to say it, I'm not free until all my people are free. We know, just like the lady that came on tonight, we need to get our people, man, involved in pipe fitting if they're not going to go to college. We need to get them involved in trade. We need to get them involved. You know, the jackhammer may not be what they got going now. They got some other type of machinery. They got to get them involved in HVAC so they can get jobs, because everybody else is taking these jobs away from our people.
Yeah,
and so we have to be industrious people
tell the truth
without excuse making.
Shame the
you know, without excuse making. So, you know, and keep our neighborhoods clean and different things. Don't let nobody come in there and take over our neighborhood, because other people are not gonna let us come in and take over their neighborhood. And so that's the way that it is. And as far as all these guns and all of that, man, you know, the people, man, the people are building the jails for us, and we know this. Now we have been disappointed.
Already built. They already built.
Well, the jails are already built, but we've been disappointed because this is what happened. When the people get ready to run for office, and they got to run for office, they'll come around and say, "I'm running for state's attorney." Okay, now you got a voice in the courtroom when you see me. You know, you got somebody that look like you, as we like to say. We get on there and say, well, what's the chance of somebody that look like me? We say, well, if you put me in that office, I'm gonna be standing for you. But see, but that person worked for the state, and that person really can't do nothing really for you when you done broke the law. See, because what they doing, that person really getting that state's attorney job to be a stepping stone for themselves to be a defense lawyer. Later on, they're gonna be a defense lawyer. Now, they use that, they got to prosecute crime, so they're working on you, and they're using you as practice, you know, to be able to stand up. And they ain't hard to get nobody off. Ain't hard to nobody getting off. But you got a court-appointed attorney that's supposed to be black, that's going to help you. But when it come down to it, you're going to say, man, you know what? But you're going to have to either plea bargain or you got to take this time. And so none of our young people getting off. But we think that when we vote for somebody, that the person is going to help us in the courtroom. That really is not the case. I done seen it too many times And people go from there. If you look at the maturation process, they go from being a state's attorney and they go on to get a defense lawyer job. And once you get a defense lawyer job, oh man, you got a lot of people waiting because they need a lawyer. They need a lawyer for so many things. So the thing, if you can get a defense attorney, man, but it's gonna cost somebody some money. So what our people got to do is stay away from crime. And if we don't want to stay away from crime, our young people, then we're gonna be in a lot of trouble. And when you bring, like somebody said something about New York, if they bring in the National Guard and start arresting our people, then we're gonna start hollering about it. So we ain't gonna want to arrest us, man. We need to give them a chance.
No.
Okay, well,
they need to be arrested, man. I don't want to go out there and get carjacked. If you do the time, you have to do the time,
I said this to Martin years ago when Martin first started bringing his show on. I said what they need to do is put him in jail. Martin gave a pretty good defense. He gave a pretty good defense. Now you coming on saying the same thing. See, so I'm saying that there is a way that we got to try to stop him from doing it. Because see, you saying the same thing, and I'm not saying that I was right about it, but I'm saying that if you keep on doing these things, eventually you're gonna get caught. You probably need to get caught the first time you do it. Because sometimes these people get killed. There's a lot of things, and these topics are good. But the bottom line is that our young people got to be industrious. They got to know how to operate machinery. They got to know how to operate that blacktop machine. And they got to know how to operate that machine that eat up the asphalt. And we got to know how to do all of this stuff because that's where the jobs are. Now they're going to do this thing on the Kennedy. Yes, go right ahead.
I'm so sorry to cut you off, and I don't like cutting you off.
No, that's okay.
Anybody
that's
else.
Okay.
But I know about 90 kids right now. I'm going to call them kids because they're much younger than me. They're 16, 17, 18. They don't know how to read. Not interested in school. How you going to teach them a trade? Okay, let me just say this about myself. I went to trade school too. I went to high school. I finished high school in 3 years. I was an electrician. Then I became a pilot. Then I became a psychologist. And then I got another PhD. I got all these stupid master's degrees. To me, that's wallpaper. I'm not arrogant with it. It's wallpaper. Please know that, everyone. It's wallpaper to me. That means that it is enough to survive off of. These kids don't even know how to read, Mr. Oldtimer. How they gonna go to trade school? Explain that to me.
Well,
they don't know how to read.
You're right. I said this when I was going down to the jail. When they put the prayer requests and different things, a lot of misspelled words and different things. The whole sheet. I'm not trying this to be funny. I'm not saying this to be funny or poke fun at somebody. Our young people have properly trained. You can't write cursive.
And Doctor, let me say this.
Go ahead.
My rebuttal against what Doc said. Why is it that when it comes to black people, the only solution we got is to lock them up? Nothing else. Nothing
I know,
else.
right?
Nothing
I know,
else.
right?
Nothing else. Why is that the first solution? Lock them up. Now, I'm not saying don't hold them accountable or pat them on the back for the crime. I'm not saying it. Don't get it twisted now. But why is that the only solution that I hear to come out of older
That's not the only solution, Mr. Martin. But I don't want to see you with a gun upside your head.
No, listen.
I don't want to see an 80-year-old with a gun.
Let me
oh, man, that's wrong. I don't want to see an 80-year-old.
I understand what you're saying.
Our 80-year-olds been here before you.
Right.
I don't want to see an 80-year-old with a gun upside her head.
Just like that man tried to steal a 50-cent juice. Did he deserve to go to jail for that 50-cent juice to you? And you seen that it was a problem. You seen that your problem. This can be worked out. This could be. That's what I'm talking about. You gave a prime example. Like, okay, 50-cent juice. Come on, this not even worth calling. Man, don't come in this store no more. Get out of there. Go.
Right.
Come on now. That's a waste of taxpayers' money.
But that's not. I'm not talking about that though.
But I'm just saying.
I'm talking about somebody getting robbed.
Yeah, but that was a crime committed.
It was a crime. That's a minor crime. That's a misdemeanor. But somebody that's out there, an 80-year-old woman is out there going to the ATM machine and minding her own business, paid her dues, paid her taxes, worked all her life, Why is it that her life got to end because some old young dummy want to end her life for some materialistic stuff? That is not fair. That's not fair. Sorry, not sorry.
Okay, we got a new caller.
Sorry, not sorry.
New caller. 4857. Hey,
Peace,
caller.
Brother Martin.
How you doing, sister?
I'm all right.
Good.
I just wanted to give a quick rebuttal to what Doc just said about how are the children going to go into trade schools when they can't read. And I mean, that is a good point, and it is a big problem. But I wanted to tell you a quick story about one of my uncles. He worked for for Amtrak for a very long time, and he couldn't read good. You know, a lot of our elders, they couldn't read good, but they could go in these factories and work, because when you're doing things in a repetitive way, you pick it up in that manner. If someone show you how to do something and you're doing it every day, all day, you become good at it, you know. But my uncle was working at Amtrak for like 35 years. And then all of a sudden they came with this test, you know, because a lot of people in there, the white folks in there, they knew that he couldn't read, you know. And so they came with this test and gave him this test, and he could not pass that test. And they fired him. But he had been working on them trains and all of this stuff for forever. You know what I mean? But they put that test in front of him and he could not pass it. It's not that he could not articulate. It's not that he wasn't a good he hardly ever missed a day of work. Stayed overtime, worked, 16-hour days and things like that. But when they put that test in front of him, that made the difference. But they already got 35 years out of his life. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to say that, definitely our children need to be educated properly, but we need to come to the realization that they're not going to get the proper education in the Chicago public school system or in the national public school system. Our children would not get educated correctly in that system. And it's time that we have to separate. We have to pull our children out of these schools. If you have to homeschool your child, if you have to go to your pastor and say, you don't have anything going on in this church, we got 10 parents. They fired 10,000 black teachers years ago. Those black teachers are still willing to come and teach our children. Let's get our children out of this cesspool. They're pushing all of this immoral things on our children. They're pushing this comprehensive sex education curriculum. J.B. Pritzker is pushing, where they're teaching our children all of these immoral things. We've been warned about this in the Bible with Sodom and Gomorrah, and we're living it today. And they are targeting our children. And that is the crime. That is the crime. See, people want to talk about this low-level crime, but they are targeting our children's minds. They are planting seeds of immorality in our children's minds, and no one wants to have that conversation. We have a governor that's pushing pedophilia, sexualization of children, cross-dressing, transgenderism. Now they are trying to criminalize the parents because the parents speak up and say, no, my child cannot have this, gender reassignment surgery. They want to lock the parents up. So, excuse me.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me. All right. Okay. It is true. There is a bill on the table right now. And I'm going to tell you the politician that helped to put it out there, LaShawn Ford. Martin, that event that I invited to you to on Saturday, that is what our press conference was about, and I'm about to share it in the links again so people can understand. And sometimes the best thing to say is nothing, especially when you don't know what you're talking about. They are criminalizing parents for standing up for their children. Now, this is factual. Okay, so what I'm saying is, while we always talking about Black children around here doing crime, and which we should talk about it, but why we never confront these politicians and these clergymen that's pushing this agenda on not only the children but the world? Why can't we ever talk about that? We don't know because we don't have the courage. We don't have the courage.
We need
no,
to
because we don't have the courage.
Kids. We need to focus on our own Black kids. Period.
That is our Black children that's being attacked. I'm not finished talking, so stop interrupting me, please. I'm not finished talking. Girl. I'm not finished talking though. I'm just saying, can't you just show a little discipline? Like I said, Martin, it's things that's happening to our children that's bigger than these streets, and we are not speaking about it. Children are getting their sexual organs mutilated. You understand? And we have a governor that is paying for it, him and his family, giving Lori's Children's Hospital all of these big grants to mutilate children. And when the parents speak up about it, now they want to lock them up. And the mutilation starts as young as 7 years old. If your child come home at 7 and say that they think that they are a boy in a girl's body and they want to get their, privates cut off, you can't say anything about it without risking going to jail. Anyway, Brother Martin, that's all I wanted to say. And
see, well, I know a little bit about that.
Can I rebuttal on that? I have to rebuttal on that.
Well, go ahead.
I have to rebuttal on
that. Can you finish
right.
what you're saying, Martin, and then let her talk?
Okay.
She's right.
All right, let me just say
I'm not saying I'm not going against her.
Okay.
I want her to understand that.
Let me just say this.
I'm not going against her.
I know. Hold it. I just want to say my point. I know that they are allowing transgenders to come in to talk to our young babies and read books to them, dressed up like men, dressed up like women. And that's totally legal in the state of Illinois here. But you do have an option as a parent to bail out of that by saying you don't want your daughter or son to participate in that. And that's wrong. And you're right, Sister Erica. That's wrong. They're trying to entrap the minds of our youth, and they start at a young age. That's I call it an impression. Yeah, an impressionable age. And they know
exactly, Brother Martin.
They're indoctrinating our children. That's wrong, people. Nobody wants to talk about it publicly. Now, if you catch them one-on-one, private, oh yeah, that's wrong. But when it comes to speak out against it, they would not say. They quiet. And see.
Well, Martin, I'm gonna publicly say that is I'm not gonna curse. I'm gonna just say that we need to be protested. That's you
gotta keep it from your schools. You right, old timer. That's old timer talking, right?
No. Kids don't know no better. Right. Kids don't know no better. A kid come home and say, "I believe that I was meant to be a girl and I'm in a boy's body." Kids don't know no better. Adults push this mindset. And every time you say something about these type of people, they want to ban you off Facebook. They want to ban you off YouTube. But it's a sin. It's a sin. God created man and woman for a reason. He instituted marriage for a reason. It is a sin. I don't care if you're in it. It's a sin, and you're going to hell. But I'm not going with you. I will go these kids.
I'm not gonna. The young lady that just spoke, I don't want her to think I'm against her, because I'm not. But I have seen in my field of study, not just reading books actually being at the school. It's about maybe about 3 schools in Evergreen Park, Illinois, right now that has transgender bathrooms. What? What? I couldn't say nothing. What? This is what they promoting, and what they're trying to do is put in our black schools. And I said, it's a no. It's a no. And so I'm fighting on that right now. I promise you to God, they have 5 schools in Evergreen Park, Illinois. All them schools are 99, I'll say 95% white. They're all promoting transgender. This is me. So now they want to promote it in our black schools. I said it's a no. Our black kids is not transgender as you think they are. They might be bisexual, they might be gay. What is it? It's called LGBTQ, and they done added another letter I. I don't know if you all know that. It's LGBTQI. Really? You know, it's interesting to sit there and listen to all these white kids, because I see a lot of white kids. No, nothing against them, 5 to 9 years old. Oh, I'm in love with this girl. What you know about being in love with a girl? You're only 5 years old. And I mean, they'll literally fall out on my floor in my office, and I just sit there and look at them. Are you serious? Things have changed. We have to protect our church, period. And as far as them not reading, we just have to get more information, get more help with them, that teach them how to read, even if they're 18 years old, because it's ridiculous. Like, are you serious? You all don't understand. These kids out here, which I didn't get at first, they're 16 to 25, don't know how to read. My grandfather was in World War II. World War II. You know how he signed his name? With an X. Because he didn't know how to read. He was a bricklayer. He didn't know how to read. And now we're talking about a generation, because he was born in 1917. We're talking about a generation that is being rebellious. We don't know if their parents on drugs or alcoholics or whatever they are. And they don't know how to read. Who is encouraging them? How can we get to them? Now, I'm going to take it another level. For the last 2 years, I've been seeing an uptake in Evergreen Park. Evergreen Park, right there on 95th, people. On people, now most of them schools is 99% white. They've been seeing an uptake on girls want to date girls, boys want to date boys. And they're encouraging it. And I can guarantee you, I promise you all, I can guarantee you that even that, I can't think of the name of that school right there on 95th and Ashland, the one that do, man,
oh wow,
that school?
I know the name of it.
It's on the tip of my tongue. That one, they do all kind of backflips and all kinds of stuff. They even went and got a transgender bathroom. I was there. I said, well, why would you all encourage this? Well, we're not against it. They are encouraging it. And now they're trying to put it into the black community. See, people, you all don't understand. This didn't happen yesterday. This is by design. They wanted us to be on crack. They wanted us, oh, well, we don't. You all remember the HIV pandemic? The bulk of the people that got HIV. Come on, SARS. Come on, old timers. Come on, Martin. Who the bulk of the people all of a sudden came out with HIV? These kids are in trouble. If we don't help them, we don't get a hold to their parents, they're in trouble. I'm going on mute. I'm not trying to go against you, young lady. You are right.
Let me say this all the time. We got another call. I think that lady back again, Paula. Let me just say this. What Erica was trying to say is, now we talk about carjacking and drive-by shooting. That's okay, cool to do. But our minds, that they're attacking our young people from an early age. That's just right up there with, that's the same thing. It's right up there. It's immoral. You know, and Erica is right. We got to watch.
Listen, we can talk and walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. We got to fight all these fights. We just can't focus on the drive-by shootings and the carjackings and all that. We got to focus on the young. The Bible said, train up a child the way he
Can I
should
say
go.
one
And when
sentence?
he get older, he should not depart. So I understand what she was saying. They are attacking
I
the
do too.
minds of our young people.
Exactly,
Can I say
Martin.
one
And you,
sentence? Can
that
I
quote
say
you
one
just
sentence?
said from the Bible, that is what we're standing on. You know, we're
Can I
supposed
say
to
one
train
sentence?
up our children in the way that they should go.
Right.
We are not the governor,
Right.
not the Chicago Public Schools, not LaShawn Ford, not those politicians in Springfield. These are our children. And it seems like we're in a custody battle with the state over how we should bring our children up, and it's not right. It is not right.
True.
And the last thing you said you was going on mute for a minute. That's why I just wanted to speak to Martin
In a
for
minute.
what he said. So this is the other thing, Martin. You made a comment about Kim Fox earlier. And you're right. She's the prosecutor. You know, the police, they're supposed to bring the crime to her with the charges and make sure the paperwork is correct. That's true. And that's done by design. But the problem that I have with Kim Fox, I'm just going to be honest with you. See, when R. Kelly, when they did that documentary on R. Kelly, Kim Fox came out the next day, early in the morning, and made a special request that if it's anybody out there that was abused by R. Kelly, contact my office. Contact my office. So she went out of her role to go after R. Kelly. But here you have a governor in the state that you are allowing not only to attack little girls, but they're going after little boys, little girls, and parents. Kim Fox is quiet. Kwame Raoul is quiet. You understand what I'm saying? So see, in my mind, they're hypocrites. You only do what those white people tell you to do. You only go after the people they tell you to go after. And it's time for us to stop voting for those types of politicians. I'm sorry. And Martin, last Friday, I was in a restaurant in Bronzeville, and I happened to walk in on a meeting that was being held by Black clergymen. Martin, I'm telling you, it was nothing but divine intervention.
I heard the video.
And
I listened to the video. Go ahead, tell us. I listened to the video.
You
didn't know that.
listened to it?
The whole
Okay.
entire video. Go ahead.
Good. So you
I'm aware.
yeah. So anyways, I went in there and I'm sitting down eating, and I happened to look up and I seen Alderman Hall. So I seen him go back behind this divider. It was like a wall up there. And I seen another well-known pastor standing at the head of the table. And he's speaking to a group of people, talking about that they were the ones that delivered, that helped Brandon to get across the finish line. You know, they were the ones that helped Brandon become mayor of Chicago, in which they were. We all know that those pastors came in and saved Brandon, you know. And so the other thing about that is it's illegal for them to get into politics and bring it into their churches, okay? But but they do it anyway. And the conversation that I heard, it sounded like I'm gonna tell you the honest to God truth. It sounded like money laundering, because they were talking about, should we write a check from our church? And they tell them, no, we're gonna do it the same way as last time. We don't want you writing a check from your church affiliation. We want it, you know, just write it separate from that. And then another one of the pastors weighed in and said, well, we have a special fund at our church, and I can give donations from that fund, and it won't show up as a check. You understand what I'm saying? And all of them left out of there with a manila envelope. All of them left out of there with me, and I have pictures of all of them. The candidate that is running for state's attorney, I asked him if I could take his picture. He was so confident and so arrogant. He sat down next to me. He said, I'm going to do better than that. I'm going to let you take a selfie with me. And I took the selfie, and I took pictures. See, they thought that I was in there like, like, oh, this is Black clergy in Chicago, like I'm mystified, or like I'm like so happy to see them. No, God wanted me to come in here and see you Negroes selling us out. That's what you're doing. You're selling us out. You see that they're displacing people, Black people in Chicago. None of them are not saying a thing about it. None of them are saying a thing. They're going along with it. And on top of that, they said in there talking about how Biden delivered, and this is Alderman Hall. Yeah, Biden delivered. I'm saying to myself, I'm with you, Mr. President. So you're saying that you're with open borders. You're saying you're with this invasion that's happening in our community. You're with them allowing these pedophiles, murderers, sex traffickers, the cartel, these Venezuelan gangs, and all of this, the fentanyl. You with this. You with them flooding our community with this. So it's mine, I'm telling you. See, we need to, it's a trickle down effect, in my eyes. It's a trick. Yeah, we have our young brothers out here that's, doing things that's not right. We do. But I think if we can get these Negroes at the top to get it together, I think it'll be easier for us to get them together. So see, I start at the top. I'm sorry. If it's enough people it's enough people that's working this surface level. But I'm going to the ones, that should be held accountable, especially when you calling on the name of God, and then with your other side of your tongue, you working with George Soros, because that's who's funding them. George Soros is funding these candidates, these state's attorneys, these the mayor. This is all George Soros. This is his money that's bankrolling them, that's displacing us in Chicago. This is George Soros. So until people really want to have these serious conversations, we gonna be in a situation.
I want to say something, Erica.
So you saying all those things.
Hold on, Doc. I'm gonna let you talk, old time. I just want to say this real quick. Sister Erica.
No, I didn't say nothing.
No, not you. I mean, old time. I'm sorry, old time. I'm gonna let you talk. I want to say this, old time, real quick. Listen, when we take God out of the government, this is what we get, Sister Erica. And we're dealing with a bunch of folks that say they love Jesus, but they live like the devil. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're dealing with. And so when you take God out of the government, it becomes a corrupt government. When you take God out of your life, you become ungodly. And when you are ungodly, you do ungodly things, unmorally things, I would say, things that is not morally. So this is what we get. This is what you're witnessing right now for these people right now. They claim that they love God, right, and they're not doing godly things. They're doing ungodly things. So that's why they took God out of the government, so they won't be held to these morally things. You have a race of people out here, and some black folks, mostly white people, black people too, they're out here working with no morals, no feelings. They have no feelings at all. I just wanted to say that. Yeah. Go ahead, old timer. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay, I go back to what the sister said about 9% that's teaching a lot of this immoral occasions. Now, everybody on this phone already know Asians, they in lockstep. Now we ain't no needing us hiding this. These homosexual Republicans that was uncovered as being homosexuals, and you got Democrats and the Green Party, Christian Party, the Tea Party, all of them got acts of homosexuality in it. They don't have that in it. They're going to be drinking. They're going to be doing a whole lot of immoral acts. None of them. Religion is not at the core of their agenda. How much they try to say it, because they had a Republican. I sent this to Martin. There was a Republican that challenged his own constituency. Stand up and say one thing the party has done for the United States, and now one of them couldn't do it. So don't get on here talking about about George Soros. The Republican Party, they sit on their hands and don't do nothing. When Obama was in there, we're gonna make him a one-term president. They wouldn't help. They wouldn't help him do nothing. This man Biden is in there. He even ride on the airplane. Obama had the airplane. None of the Republicans wouldn't even Republican get him to ride on the airplane. When they come down to this homosexual agenda, no mistake about it. This is run Asian race. Dude is you know what I'm saying? Who get the license for to have the big party? Who get the license in New York, San Francisco, all the major cities? They have Gay Pride Day. This is their program, and now we have jumped into it and we have joined into it. Can't even get us to have a parade one time for Black History Month. At Black History Month, we didn't have that one. We didn't have that one parade going down the street. These people are set up. They run this country. People have joined in Asian race with their ungodliness. Who want to do these things because they don't have we can come over here and hang up a flag over on 63rd Street and state and say, come on in here. We're going to teach you about this. But white people have run this country and they're going to continue to run this country. And that's the way outlying areas, governor, all of them is in lockstep with what they're doing. They know that these immigrants are coming up in here. White people are hiring these people to work for them. Them to cut their grass. They're hiring them to work in their restaurants. They're not turning them away. It's something that they want, but they want to try to use the Democrats to hide behind it. If you can do that and get away with it, that's not a problem. Do it. But it is Cajun people. One started this with this bathroom where you said no gender. They're glad when they go to, they get glad, and I'm almost done. They get glad when you go to the hospital and they say, oh, we got a family room. You can wait right here for your baby. Same people was the one that started this no gender bathroom. All this stuff. Continue to do it because you know what? Unless people join in with them, long as you don't take away their rights, continue to flourish, continue to go on. Look how last night, because there's a man across there basically naked. He had a piece of cardboard in front of him. Now, one white person went against it.
He wasn't naked.
I don't care what it was. I don't care what it was. But now one white person spoke against it. All in like they sit up there and laugh, knowing they had a little 12-year-old black girl up there that had won an award and say, hey, this is supposed to be a family event. But all of them laughed at it. And they came on TV today and said, who stole the show? Oh, the man with the naked with no clothes on. All of them, even though they were celebrating, because I understand what they was doing. And trust me, when 50 years come, they're going to celebrate Will Smith slapping in the face. They're going to do that too. Their program, man. All of this stuff with agenda, address, and all this is a white-run program. So you can holler George Soros all you want. White people are running this program, and they're not going to let nobody black. Well, black people going to vote for Trump. I want this woman to answer this question. How are we going to vote for Trump, and he talking about we vote for him because he got a mugshot?
Who you speaking to?
You.
Who you speaking to, me?
I'm talking to you. I'm saying that Trump.
Okay, well, hold on 1 second. Because you getting way off topic. First off, well, no, it's not regardless. I'm giving my rebuttal. Now, I listen to you. Now, I need you to hear me out, all right? Because you all over the board, for one. You said that, first you said, I am, and I have listened to you. Now I need you to listen to me. You asked me a question, now I'm going to answer it. I'm gonna just go right to everything you said, because I heard you loud and clear. First, you said that I can come on here and talk about Soros all day long. This is a white pushed agenda. You're correct. Excuse me, sir. Just a little bit discipline. It's a little bit. No, I heard what you said. Can you just listen? I don't want to have to talk loud. I don't want to get no headache. Can you just listen? Same thing I did for you. I listened. All right. You said it's a white pushed agenda. I agree with you. But Soros is a white man. So I am talking about the right person. He's a white man. Okay? And on top of that, I'm speaking about my people as well, because as you said, we have adopted their ways. And this is how our people are being led astray. George Soros couldn't stand in front of us and push this agenda, and we go along with it. So they put Obama in front of us to trick us into this. See, that's how the devil works. You understand? So we have to address it. We're going to address the whites, and we're going to address the blacks. We're not giving anyone a pass when it comes to indoctrinating our children into the devil's cult. Because this is what this is. The book said this is an abomination. And I'm going to tell you how I feel about that word and how it connects with what we're seeing today. Abomination is just like saying Obama-nation. Obama, it wasn't no white person that did that with these bathrooms. That's Obama. Obama put that legislation in there to let little boys go in little girls' bathrooms, to let them compete in little girls' sports, to make gay marriage legal. All of that, that's Obama. A white man could not have ever stood in front of us and said us that, and we went along with it. The only reason we went along with it is because it was Obama. So let's just keep this real. And until we start to call out the people that resemble us, that are leading our people to the slaughter, leading them astray. You understand? They're not leading them to God. They're leading them to Satan. And I'm talking about this clergyman and these black clergymen. They have sold out. They sold their souls, and they are leading our people to the slaughter. And if we don't call them out, and if we don't expose them, we're going to lose more and more of our people's souls and our minds to this satanic agenda. So like I said, a lot of us don't have the courage to do that. And see, you want to make this, you can, as soon as, let me just finish my point. You want to make this about a Republican and Democrat. And since you want to do that, I'm just going to tell you the truth of it. The Democrats are the one that's pushing this abomination all over the world. This is a global agenda. And I'm telling you, right here in America, in the city of Chicago, it's the Democrats that's pushing it. I just told you LaShawn Ford introduced this legislation to go after parents for standing up for their children. He's a Democrat right here in Chicago. So let's not, let's not make that an issue, because the facts are it's the Democratic Party that's pushing this. Now, as far as what you're saying about how both parties are benefiting from this illegal immigration, I agree with you 1,000%. I agree with you that Republicans as well as Democrats, especially the ones that's well off that have companies, they are benefiting from cheap labor. And they're also benefiting because a lot of them are pedophiles, and the pedophiles are having a heyday on their border. See, they don't want to talk. They always tell us to show some humanity for the people that's here, that's, flooding our communities, that they're dumping in our communities. But no one wants to speak about the over 85,000 unaccompanied children that came across that border that's missing. They're being sex trafficked. They're being forced into labor, child labor. You understand? No one wants to talk about that. The pedophiles are having a field day on that border. The United States government is placing those children with pedophiles, and they know it. No one wants to speak about that. They had one address for a sponsor of children that came across that border illegally and without any escort. They had one address for a sponsor. That sponsor received over 100 children in one household. How is that possible? How is that possible? These are sick people. The government of the United States government is involved in sex trafficking. You understand me? So I get that's why I told you. See, I like to work my way from the top, and then we come down here. Y'all keep dealing with this surface stuff, and I'm going to keep going for the ones at the top. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't have the courage to speak out against them. I have no problem with it, because even if they kill me, which I don't believe God is going to allow that to happen, they can only kill me once. I'm already guaranteed to die once, so they can bring it. And that's all I got to say, Brother Martin.
All right. Listen. Okay.
Okay, it's Dr. Davis' turn. It's Dr. Davis' turn. Please. Okay, Martin, you got something to say. Go for it.
No, I ain't had nothing to say.
Go ahead.
I'm going to let you say that. I got two callers holding, but go ahead, Doc. Go ahead, Doc. I got two callers holding.
My thing is this. She's right. I'm not going to disagree with her on anything. Obama, he shut down a lot of universities. And let me say this to you, sister. I'm not a fan of Obama at all. I used to sit next to them in the church. We went to church, United Church Christ together on 95th. I used to sit next to them for years. So we would laugh and giggle. When he became the president, they didn't even know who I was. I was close to them. So I cannot say that Obama did this, because I understand when you become president that you have so many people around you that make decisions for you. I don't like the brother. I don't. Sorry, not sorry. I don't like him. But as far as our children concerned, our black children, man, it's rough on them. It is rough. And I need for every parent to take care of their children. Do not depend on the government. This is what I was waiting to say to you. When No Child Left Behind came, that's when everything changed. I know you remember that, Martin. No Child Left Behind. Mm-hmm. When that came, everything changed. So you wasn't allowed to whoop your children. You wasn't allowed to control your children. You wasn't allowed to do anything. I don't know how old you are, but I know how old I am. That's when everything changed, because they want to change our children. And it was a sad thing. I'm going back to the children. I'm not veering off from the subject. And then nowadays it's different. And it's like, you're right, and so is old timers, so is Sarge. I ain't even heard Sarge's voice, so Sarge ain't thinking about you. Old time is right, you are right, Martin is right. It's just a mess out here. Now, the whole purpose of me talking now is to figure out what can we do to help these parents to bring our children together and get them together without the government. Because this is a mess out there. It's only going to get worse. We can sit here and talk blah, 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 all day long. What is the solution we can do? Now, I'm taking care of my child. I make sure she's good. I make sure she's good. But what about everybody else? What about the kids that's parents on crack? They don't go home at night. What about the kids' parents that just don't care? They don't go home. They out in the street. What about the young man that I was stuck in the gas station with, and now I'm trying to get him, as we used to say in the days, Jew him down to calm down because he had a mental disorder. What can we do to help those? Because we can talk about the government all they want to. The government, Listen, Farrakhan, and I'm not a Muslim by you guys, by the way. Farrakhan said these white folks that had these meetings 10, 20 years ago about what their plan was for us. He wasn't lying. He wasn't lying. These meetings just didn't get started. These meetings been started years ago. What can we do to help our children to explore and excel? Because right now, we're not going to have no doctors and lawyers and Indian chiefs. We need all the help we can get. What can we do now to bring our kids together and to encourage the ones that's acting a fool? Not the ones that's doing good, because they're doing good. The ones that's acting a fool to say, okay, we're not going to do this. We're going to be on the right path. Explain that to me.
All right. Let me go to.
Well, I would say this. Oh, okay. Go ahead,
let
brother.
me get this new caller. She called once, but I think 0282. Go ahead, caller. 082. I'm so sorry for having you on so long. Caller. 0282, the last 4 digits of your telephone. I think that's Miss Holmes, Paulette Holmes. You listening? I guess not. Okay, 917. I know.
Can I give a rebuttal then, real quick?
Okay.
I ain't gonna say long.
Okay. All right.
I would say, sister, for our young men that's out here, that's kind of lost and on the wrong path, the best thing that you can do for them is bring them, like you just said, you mentioned a minister, bring them to the Nation of Islam and allow the FOI to intervene in their life, because people have a lot of negative things to say about the Nation of Islam or whatever, but you have to agree that Minister Farrakhan makes men. He makes men. He makes boys into men. He makes men into men. I'm just saying, into good men. I'll put it to you like that. And he also does the same thing for women. All of us are striving to be better, but the program that Minister Farrakhan has been given by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, it works for Black people. And I've seen
some Black people.
Well, listen to me. You asked me a question. I've seen the transformation, and I've also lived it, because I am a member of the Nation of Islam. I am an MGT. I'm from the streets. And if anyone out there that knows the old me, the one that's buried a few, in a little shallow grave, I'm not all the way resurrected, but I'm working. I'm a work in progress. But if you knew the old me and you know who I am today, you could see my transformation. I'm the best example of, well, not the best example, but I'm the best version of my adult self today that I've ever been in my life. Okay? So I'm telling you, it works.
It doesn't work for everybody. Let me tell you
something.
Sister,
nothing works for everybody.
I don't mean to cut you off.
But don't cut you off.
I don't mean to cut you off.
But let me just finish.
I don't mean to cut you off. Please don't. I don't mean to cut you off. My 17-year-old Cheyenne was on the news today, and she was killed. How could we have reached her? And that was my client.
Sister,
some people cannot be reached.
Sister, if did anybody take the baby over to the Nation of Islam and enroll them in the FOI or the MGT class?
I'm not a Muslim.
No.
I'm not a Muslim.
I just say you don't have to be a Muslim to know what's good for your child. Listen to what I'm saying. All of these children belong to us. We are the village. We are the village. If you see a child going astray, you're supposed to step in and intervene. That's our duty. And see, the problem.
Easy, baby.
Well, I'm not saying that it's easy. If it was that easy, it would be done already. I didn't say it was easy. I said, what's our duty? The duty of a civilized person is to teach the uncivilized. That is our duty. That's it.
To try.
to try.
Sister,
These
it's
17-year-olds, this is a
nothing
different
beats
generation.
the failure but a try. You asked me for a solution, and I gave
I'm
you a
telling you.
solution. And sister, I'm
you.
not debating about it. You asked me for a solution, and I gave it to you. I'm telling you,
know
this.
what?
Even if you take the child to a church,
The
that
FOI needs to ride the train. The FOI need to get on the train.
Brother, let me tell you this. See, people always want to say what people need to do. You know what? But do you know what? But do you know what the FOI needs?
Come on, let
me
talk. Please let
me tell you what the FOI needs. The FOI needs black people to support them. And not only support them with their mouths, support them financially. Because, see, they have children, they have families, they have households, they have bills. People can't do charity all the time. People cannot work for charity all the time. I can't work for charity. When Martin come out in, well, sister, praise be to Allah for you. Everyone's situation is not the same.
Please let Martin talk.
Everyone's situation is not the same. Martin, when you come out and do your filming, do you do it for charity all the time, Martin? A lot of times you do. I mean, people do need to be compensated, right?
Baby, that's what I'm trying to say. We can't.
Well, you just said you do.
We're trying to figure it out. Listen, I'm a whole doctor. I got 2 PhDs, 5 masters, and a damn pilot license. I don't need no money from nobody. Them degrees. Listen to me. Them degrees mean nothing to me. That's wallpaper.
But how is that helping the child that you were just talking about?
If I could reach one, teach one. That girl wanted to do what she wanted to do. She was grown. She was fast. She wanted to do. That baby died tonight. She died. Okay? She died.
What is your point,
her mother, her whole family called me like, we couldn't do nothing with her. We tried. Some people are like that. They are like that.
Sis, we're not talking about that it's not going to be an exception to the rule or some exceptions. You asked me for a solution. I gave you a solution, and now you want to shoot it down. Evidently, you don't have a solution.
Baby. I'm not.
But you.
I'm not, no, okay. Actually, I do, because I've been doing this 20 years, 19 years.
Okay, well, then, how is it helping us, sis? Because we're in a real situation. Even with the work that the nation is doing, it's not solving the problem, because if people won't come and bring their children over there so they can get the proper manhood training or the women's training, how is that going to help us? Because they don't teach this stuff in the schools. They used to give us home economics and, like different trades for young men, auto shop and all of that stuff. I went to Julian. So we had all of that. So, but what I'm saying, even still, Julian did not teach me about being my moral compass, keeping that in check. It didn't teach me that. Although they had cosmetology, they had well, this is what I'm saying. If that's the case, then parents are dropping the ball. Parents are dropping the ball today, brother.
But you don't understand. The parents are dropping. Oh my God, the parents are not dropping the ball. A lot of parents are on drugs. We try to reach the ones that's the problem.
I'm giving the answer to what the brother just said. He said that you're supposed to get that at home. You just said that the parents of this little girl, you said they tried, but they couldn't control her. So sometimes it takes some other people to intervene to help a child out. The child, listen, that's what just like you not listening to me right now. You asked me for a solution, and I'm trying to give it to you, and you don't want to hear it.
You can't give a solution because she's now dead. You can't give a solution.
We have more. That's not the only child on the earth, sister. We have a lot of children listening right now. And if we cannot just be quiet and listen to each other, then, we're not being good examples anyway.
Don't make me make I'm right.
It don't, but we're not being good examples for the children that's listening today. Then unfortunately we lost that baby, and I feel sad about it. But we still have other children that we need to save. And that's
Listen
the
to me.
name of
I
my
gotta go to
campaign,
her
Save Our
house.
Children.
I have to go to her house tomorrow. Listen to me. Some kids cannot be saved. I'm trying to save all that I can. I'm only one person. Okay? I'm only one person. I could do so much. I can't be a crime chaser like Mr. Martin because that's not my field. These kids are something else. This is do you have kids, by the way, ma'am? Yes or no?
I have 5 grown children. My youngest son
Amen.
is 30, and I have 5 grandchildren.
See, that's different. This generation is different. It's not like when you were raising your kids. I'm probably your age. I'm gonna be honest. I'm older because I had my child late. Okay? I'm way older. Let me tell my age. I'll be 55 this year. Let me tell you something. I had my daughter only 11 years old.
Well, you're not way
went to
older,
school.
but anyway.
Okay, well, whatever. My whole point is that these kids, this generation here, is something else. I never seen nothing like it. I done seen over 200 of these things, and I'm calling them things because I never seen nothing like it. Like, what? There's no way I could talk to my mother the way they talk to their mother and grandmother and father. You know, I'm just saying, that's my whole point. So we have to find a different direction, which I have found. This girl, Cheyenne, she's dead. And her mother and family calling me, I'm rushing to the west side, and I'm like, what? It's different. That's all I'm just trying to say. I'm not trying to go against you. It's different. It's a difference in raising these kids versus how we was raised. Like, they don't think the same. That's all I'm trying to say. You know, I'm a Christian. And I love Farrakhan, by the way. My brother is a Muslim. I even sent him to Saudi Arabia and went to Mecca. Okay? So most people ain't been there. I sent him over there in 2010. It's different. This is different. Martin, I'm going to let you take over. It's your show.
Okay.
Take over, Martin. Give your
Next
opinion.
caller, 917, and the last caller.
Okay.
917. Area code.
Yeah, hey Martin.
Hey,
How are you, Martin?
How you doing?
Hey, good. You look you feel good too. It sounds like it. I'm gonna go back to what you're welcome. I'm gonna go back to what I said last summer when I went crazy. There's only one thing that can change this because they see our ills, they see our downfalls, and it's called white guilt politicians. They could care less. They will never care. I don't care what party it is, they're scared of us. They're only worried about being. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay, so it's one thing, and I learned it really closely under Fentanyl Floyd. When they bow down in our clothing and stuff like that, like, oh man, they're the devils. It's the white guilt politicians who are scared and are worried about stupid black pavement roads, and they're worried about their dumb statues. I don't know if you remember this from last year. It was last summer when I went crazy because I can't stand them. It's the white guilt politicians. They see our ills. They see our downfalls. They see what it is that's going on in our neighborhoods across this USA. They are at fault because, again, they rule the court system. They are the attorneys, just everything. And what they doing, real quick, Mark, they're doing indictments on us. So they're allowing our people, whoever it is, that is doing the heinous crimes to do it. As many people that they want to victimize, and come, or the state, whatever it is, to come in and take our sperm, right? That black sperm, if you remember me saying last year by chance, so we cannot procreate. Period. They're taking the black, but this is what's going on, man. I promise you, because they're scary. They're scary and they're weak, and I hate them in my heart, Martin, because I can't stand the white guilt politicians. They don't even have. I don't even want to talk about race or not, but man, no, they don't even. They're just fucking scary. I swear to God, they're scary, and I hate them. I do. They allow this crap to happen. I don't care about nothing what's being dropped off in our neighborhoods because they got the control in the court system. They got the control with the money. They got the control with all the laws, and they see our ills. They see our downfall, and they don't care. And we not them. We could sit here and talk all day.
That's true. You're right.
White guilt.
Mark, can I
The only one
say
that-
something?
Yeah, go ahead, old timer.
Oh, no. Oh, that's
You
old
still
time.
talking, Tiff?
That's
Okay.
old time. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, old timer. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's
Finish.
old.
What I want to say is, okay, somebody said something about Obama. Look, Bill Clinton, don't tell. When this homosexual stuff was moving around, they was pushing it forward then. He said, if you don't act, we not going to tell. They had that was already in the works already. Besides everybody on this phone, you need to be in contact with the Rights Initiative out of Denmark.
Man.
Rights Initiative signed country.
Old timer, interject, please. And I don't mean to be rude because I got a lot of respect for you. Please shift me. Thank you. We could sit here and talk about this gay wad crap all day. It's being indoctrinated in Cook County to every child, every single child of every single ethnic group. Yes, our children, perhaps the most, because we're already losing in some directions, right? But the gay agenda is not. It's really, at this point, who cares? That's the only reason why they put the hate crime in there. White folks did it because, again, it's their children that were committing the suicide. Let's go back to the early 2K, right? Just stay with me. But our biggest problem is these white guilt politicians who allow our young people all the way up to 35, because we commit crime even up to 30 years old, 35, not just the shorties. Everybody got it in their, not everybody, but most folks got it in their brain. Oh, it's just the kids. No, we had 30-year-olds out there too when they did that takeover. And they cold with it. They cold it, man. They cold because white guilt politicians allow them to overrun this country. So again, that they can indict them with long sentence terms and they can procreate unless we have more mixed kids, and black women aren't dating outside the race like that. It's just, this is it. But the gay stuff ain't nothing we could do at this point. We could sit here and talk about it because I hate it too. The same way, but every ethnic group is being hit equally with this gay crap. That's all.
Oh no, okay. That's
Well,
a whole
okay. I
nother
just
subject.
want to say this.
That's a whole nother. Don't tell a lot in California. Good luck on that.
You got to look at the Human Rights Initiative. The Human Rights Initiative, what it does, sign that agreement to ensure to treat everybody fairly. Said whatever it was, he said, no matter who you love, gay or straight, and all this kind of stuff. He did say those things. But that Human Rights Initiative goes a long way with what your country is going to stand for. And the United States is not going to let no other country and beat them out places. They operate off of Denmark. They operate off of Sweden, the Netherlands, Norway. They're not just in this thing by themselves. And white people, it's a collection to stick together. You sign that Human Rights Initiative, you signing for peace, and for you signing to look. There's a lot of things that goes in that Human Rights Initiative, and that shows where you're not standing. That's just like signing the Geneva Accord. You're not by yourself. The states have to embrace a lot of things that come along with woes and lows. One thing I can say, if another person jump off a building, that don't mean I got to go and jump off it. You have your own mind. Country is built. Advancement of other countries are doing as well. Human Rights Initiative for global rights, and you will see what they have in it. And the United States is part of that, just like everybody else is. And so whatever goes on in the United, they have homosexual stuff in other countries way before it got here to the United States, because they all love it. The way that is going to be. But we have to teach our children. Our children designed to want to go out there, be out there. You're not in this world by yourself. Trump tried to do. Trump went up over there and he's going to break away from the Geneva Pact, break away from United Nations. He tried to isolate the United States by themselves. Man, you get caught out there by yourself, you ain't going to never be able to do nothing by yourself. To have other countries to be with you, you got to have alliances. So when you have alliances, you're stronger together instead of being out there by yourself. He did. He went over there, Mr. Big and Bad, and they had the United States out there by themselves. You ain't going to have nobody to trade with. You ain't going to have nobody to do nothing. All the time, he was trading with China and making money all the time, but yet at the same time, he was getting up speaking against China. And let's look at it the way it is. See? Globally with other countries. And whatever those other countries do, they're going to do it here. Just the way it is. And the sister just said it. Nation is run by the Caucasians from the front to the back. They not so easily they want to give up their power. Politics is like this here. Around and say, well, I'm doing what my constituency wants. Doing what no constituency wants. That's your job, and that's how you making a living. And that living just like somebody else working at Jewel Food Store. They doing their job and they making a living, and that's why they career politicians. That's why they don't want term limits, because they want to be able to hold that job for 30 years, 50 years. Look at just the Republican man. His name, he was sitting up there being quiet. They thought something was wrong with him. The Republican leader, Mitch McConnell. 3 years he's still in politics. Don't want to give that job up. They're going to do. They want to hold on to that power, keep on holding on to it. And the things that Bill Clinton got off with, Obama would have did some of that. The Democrats and Republicans would have turned against them. White people are in charge, and they're going to push any kind of agenda they want. Marijuana, they already doing it right in front of our face. They open the marijuana stores. Look at that. Republicans going against it. Republicans out there holding up a sign saying shut these marijuana stores down. They all going along with it. Casinos, they all going along with it because they all in it together. The way it is. So black people just going to have to find a way. We got to find our way. It ain't going to be easy. Easy for them. Find our way, and we just going to have to, if we don't want to do that stuff, then just don't do it. They got it set up for legislation. They want to join, taking on all comers. There it is, and we got our way, their way. We don't outweigh their way, we're going to wind up joining them with them. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bless.
All right, we're going
It is live.
Uncut.
Unedited.
Marcus, I'm going to give you the last comment, then I'm out of here. Been on here almost 3 hours. Marcus, give you the last comment, and that'll be it for the
Let's say we should fight against this transgender thing in the schools. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in guiding children when they're at their weakest moment in life of making adult decisions. Adults want to do their thing. That's their business. They got to deal with God. But to misguide children into doing it, we should be protesting. And I mean, we should be protesting very aggressively against it. Because what they're trying to do is feminize the young black men. And they do that, we ain't got a race. That's my comment.
All right, I'm going to leave it right there, people. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. This is live, uncut, unedited. I want to thank all my wonderful guests for calling in. Make sure you share the video or tag someone into it, share it into your group, and I appreciate you guys. This is live, uncut, unedited.
You already know what it is.
What
live, uncut,
and what?
unedited. Tell the truth.
And what?
And shame the devil. I love being black.
All right, good morning, good night.